Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only podcast that actually supports the Heat Miser. That's right. I'm your host, Ryan Knightsey, and with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing on this fine Sunday morn?
I don't even know how to react to the Heat Miser comment.
Well,
But otherwise,
this is the podcast that supports the Heat Miser, Scotty, because if I'm not mistaken, it was in fact a hot boy summer.
okay, that was a good one.
You're welcome.
I confess, that was a good one. Yes, that is true. It was a hot boy summer. Shouts out.
We'll get to
Yes,
that. We'll get to that momentarily.
we'll get to a lot, but yeah, this is not a busy week in terms of news. Besides TNA being sold and not being sold,
Potentially being sold, option to being sold.
But otherwise, yeah, I'm doing good. Busy as ever, as you can imagine. But hey, I'm excited for everything we're talking about here today.
Yeah, we have a slightly loaded show in terms of topics, I guess. It's more of like shows and previews and the whole team.
They're just big shows. Yeah.
But obviously you're head, body, foot deep in multiple tournaments at the moment. Right? Let's do the Scotty check-in on the Scotty quick check-in on 5-star and Stardom and Marigold's respective round robin tournaments.
Yeah, it's going good. I'm just tired.
Yeah,
I'm tired of tournaments. I think that's like my main takeaway. I think that's kind of natural when you get to this point of the summer. I think that's kind of the big takeaway. It's like we've been doing tournaments for a month now.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm exhausted. I just want them to end. But they've been good. The 5-star really turned a great corner after the third show or so. And now we have 2 shows left, so that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Dreamstar really kicks up once the 5-star is over, so it's a good give and take there. I recorded both of my reviews for today last night after the shows, and when I say last night, I mean at 4:00 this morning, before I fell asleep. But yeah, it's good. I'm just excited to like do other things. I've been doing the tournaments, but it's a lot. It was a dumb idea by me. That's why I'm here though, to make dumb ideas come to life. So yeah, but it's been good. Last weekend I think almost took me out, but I got the whole week off, so that was nice.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at it right now. I believe we have the just like the G1 Climax, the now that the round robin tournament that doesn't matter is over, now we have an actual tournament to
So the playoffs of the 5-star are Wednesday. I'll decide who goes to the semifinals, and then the semifinal and final is on Saturday.
Yeah, so just 2 shows left: the Wednesday, the 20th, and then 23rd on Saturday.
I expect the Wednesday show probably to be the best one. It was last year. I can't see why it wouldn't be this year. Top wrestlers going head to head. But yeah, I'm just and I did a lot of my G1 catch up this week, so it was just like, even when I was off from tournament stuff, I was like trying to catch up on the G1, and yeah, I'm so done with tournaments.
Well, don't worry. We'll wrap up the G1 Climax with a bow on today's episode.
Thankfully, the N1's coming up. Sorry.
You can't forget about the N1. I think they started doing the announcements for the N1.
They announced the field.
I haven't looked at the field yet, but I saw I saw that our boy Jack Morris is returning, so that was good to see.
Yeah, everyone thought he was like leaving because Team 2000X kicked him out. And then he's
I get it, I guess.
Yeah, it's an interesting field.
I'm trying to find the field online. I don't know why I can't find it right now.
I have it up here.
Okay, hit me with the field. This will be my live reaction to the field.
All right. So here is your A block.
Okay.
Where you have Kenta.
Sure.
So Kenta re-enters the tournament of Noah. I know it wasn't always the N1, but you get my point. Kaito Kiyomiya.
Great.
Manabu Soya.
Fun.
Ulka Sasaki.
I'm less on Ulka Sasaki lately, but sure.
Tetsuya Endo,
All right.
Masakita Miya,
Of course.
Daga, and
Sure.
turn of Kazuyuki Fujita to the tournament.
Really? I wonder if it's his last one.
Yeah,
uh,
it's
it's gotta
interesting.
be, right? It's
You would
gotta
think
be.
so. And then
Kazuyuki
on the
Fujita in that lineup is very interesting because that's like a lot of strikers, right? You got Kenta,
that's a
you got
good lineup for
Okazaki,
him.
you got some big boys like Manabu Soya as well.
Yeah, that's the better block, I
Oh,
think.
I'm sure.
Yeah, no, this one has some scariness. This is so here's your B block. You have Galeno,
Okay.
obviously, Naomichi Marufuji, which is admittedly terrifying at this point of his career.
I would rather
Kano,
have him in this block than the block of Fujita, to be fair.
that's fair. Kano's in this. Daiki Inaba, never
Okay.
back down. Daiki Inaba, shouts out.
Yeah.
Jack Morris
My boy.
returns to the tournament. Haru Toki, who's this new young guy that they signed.
Oh, okay.
He beat
Interesting. They're already putting him in the N1. All right.
He beat Go Shiozaki to get into the N1.
Yeah.
So they put him over big.
Yeah.
Ozawa,
But
obviously.
I will say, beating Go Shiozaki to get in one, I really like seeing that because they're really because that's part of the thing with Ozawa, right? Is that they're really getting behind these young guys finally. You know.
Yeah. So that I heard good things about that Go match for what it's worth.
Mhm.
Ozawa and then Ricky Knight Jr.
Oh, okay, okay, little Ricky Knight. I think he won the Rev Pro title, if I'm not mistaken.
So for what it's worth, no WWE talent this year.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess question mark circle around Jack Morris on that one, but
That's fair. That's very fair. But overall, a fun little field. I think you'll find a
yeah, I
good
think those are nice
few
little fields. I
matches
do think it's
throughout.
still probably going to be an Ozawa victory, right? But like, I think those are nice.
Oh,
little
for
fields.
sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That's nice little
for
fields.
what that
But
is. I think those are pretty nice.
from one Puro tournament to another, you know.
Exactly right. So let's start talking about New Japan's G1 Climax. Let's wrap up that tournament and get that off our books. Of course, the finals were this morning, so I guess let's say spoilers are ahead, but it was in the title. We're already warned you already. So New Japan's G1 Climax 35 has completed, with the finals, of course, taking place this morning between Konosuke Takeshita and Evil. That's right. It was a hot boy summer indeed, with Evil getting to the finals.
They bring the torture. Shouts out, by the way.
Shouts out indeed. However, that being said, it was in fact Konosuke Takeshita that picked up the victory 26 minutes and 26 seconds on the dot, if you can believe it, for Takeshita to win the G1 Climax overall. I did also see that there was a DDT show happening at the same time. And when they announced that Takeshita won the tournament at a DDT show, the crowd erupted because, of course, the outsider from DDT, the outsider from AEW, has invaded New Japan and took over and won the G1 Climax. Can you believe it, folks?
Yeah. Can we talk about before we talk about like the match and the winner and stuff?
Sure.
Can we just talk about the fact that Evil made the final?
Okay, yeah. Obviously, if you're coming to Ring Post Radio, you got to hear us talking about Evil making the final, because that was also a big part of it, Scotty. Yesterday, when Evil got into the final, won the semifinal match, beat Yosuji.
Oh my god!
People, the internet, at least the American internet, erupted in anger.
Yeah. There was not a single person, in terms of loyal New Japan followers. There's not a single New Japan follower like loyal that was happy.
No.
And I just sat there reading it all. I was like, man, that's impressive. People would post like his cage match reviews over the past month. Tony Khan ran to Sean Ross Sapp to say, I don't like Evil. I didn't book the final.
Hilarious. hilarious
That was the funniest
Sean
part.
Ross Sapp had to go out and say Tony Khan did not book New Japan's G1 Climax. Why are you asking? He doesn't like evil.
I
Settle down.
I couldn't believe it. But like, listen, I'm not in the mentions of a Tony Khan or Sean Ross Sapp, so I'm sure like that was a thing that made that come about, right? But I just want to tell Tony Khan, he's on a list, buddy. You disrespect evil one more time, I'm coming for you. How dare you? How dare you?
You're telling me that after all this Death Rider nonsense that you're not a fan of evil?
Yeah,
what are you
that's
talking about?
funny. That's funny, dude. Maybe Evil could have showed the Death Riders how to get good in the early going, buddy.
Maybe he could have shown the Death Rider how to sell some merch. That's what Evil could have done, baby.
Exactly. Yeah, but in all seriousness, this was one of those things where like I saw the feed in real time of Evil getting in the tournament, and I just said to myself, "What? What do you mean Evil made the final?" So like my reaction as obviously a big time Evil guy was, "Who let that happen? How did we get there?" And I don't know what was funnier. No offense to the many New Japan fans who obviously just want this company to turn things around. I get that. But I don't know what was funnier. I don't know if it was like everyone bringing up like Tanahashi being like, we got to get rid of House of Torture, and then like doubling down on the fact that they made the G1 final, or all these different things. And I do feel bad in a way, right? Because it's like, I know what New Japan fans want. They want the youth to be believed in. You know, Yu Uemura had a fantastic tournament, but missed the playoffs.
I think Tsuji had a fantastic tournament as well.
Yota Tsuji's the guy and just lost to Evil, so that definitely didn't help at all. And, you know, ultimately, the person to take down Evil at the end is a guy that's half in, half out. And I think that is, again, part of the 5-year run we've been here, right? You know, so much of the AEW versus New Japan fan type thing. So I think that all has added up, but I don't think that's Evil's fault.
Yeah,
I would just like to say that, you know, like it's not Evil's fault.
Evil's not
that the youth,
this.
like they could have put Yota Tsuji or Yu Uemura on the other side. They didn't.
Yeah,
how's that his fault? You know, like.
Yeah, and I think that's like where the questioning is. I think like, you know,
you can blame Gato. He's very bad at his job. We know this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like I think like I understand and sort of like the story of telling and getting to Evil and finals with Takeshita, like to a certain degree.
I
I
like
like
the
that.
Evil. Shocker. I like the Evil final.
Yeah, me too. And the final match was I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really good. And I'll talk about the match itself in a moment, but like at the same time though, Scotty, I would also say it was like a story that they shouldn't have told. You know what I mean? Like I thought the story that they told.
No, that's fair.
The story that they told was, I thought, solid, but they should not have told that story, especially now with all the fandom. Like the fans have been clamoring for these young guys to be pushed for. I don't know, 2-3 years at this point. And they're definitely like getting up there, right? Like obviously Shota Umino, they've been pushing really hard all year. I would argue too much. Tsuji had another great year of building and growth, and he did have a completion of a story, right? He finally was able to defeat Shota Umino, right? And that was a big.
What a sentence.
Yeah, I know. But I believe he's never beaten Shota Umino before.
Yes.
And finally was able to beat him, and that is in its own right a personal accomplishment for Yota Tsuji. He just doesn't get the G1 Climax win. Like there are story bits that are happening that are good. And I think like that Tsuji win over Shota Umino to me is like what you said of like Tsuji has become the guy. Literally his post-match promo to Shota Umino lying on the ground there is, you have to forge your own path. You can't copy other people. You have to be your own person. And I'm over here going like, woo! Yeah, baby. That's my Gene Blaster right there. That's what I want to hear, right? And I like the bits they're doing. It's just like, yeah, they shouldn't have been doing the story. It should not have been Evil in the final, realistically speaking. Takeshita, obviously, I think we're all fine with. But even then, like the optics, at least to an American audience, of Evil in the final versus what I think largely people would say, even they said in the tournament, an outsider is
Yeah.
not necessarily the best optics for this company.
Yeah, it doesn't it doesn't make sense. Like if you're gonna put Evil in the final, you do it against one of the young guys, right? Because it gets them over.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense against Takeshita. Like, especially because for a lot of the tournament, Takeshita's working heel.
Yeah.
So it's like, what?
Yeah.
What is the? It didn't make a lot of sense. So I think in that term, I get the frustration. I think originally a lot of the frustration was just like, oh, Evil's in, and maybe that's because on the other side it was Zack and Takeshita. So it's like, what is the point of that? And I think that's kind of the continued shortcomings of the booking side in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
And have been. Had you had Tsuji, had you had Uemura, I think in that final, I think we're having a different discussion, honestly, on what the perception is, because at that point it's like, oh well, Evil's gonna put over the next big baby face who's then gonna go on to Kingdom whatever and win the belt. So I think that's again, part of the problem.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen, and I don't know. I can't tell you what's really happening,
Yeah.
but I do know.
Speaking of that, it's like I also wonder like how much the Gabe Kidd loss affected the tournament, because obviously like a
Yeah,
lot of people felt like he's obviously already a champion, so I think at that point it's fair to
yeah.
say that he probably would have
Though
won the
that be
G1.
that being said, New Japan fans, I'm pretty sure, are pretty prepared for him to get out too.
Yeah,
Which
he's
again,
1 foot out the door maybe as
he
well.
he definitely didn't help missing the tournament, then walking into Forbidden Door. Like literally a weekend after, that certainly didn't help his cause. Yeah, I think for New Japan fans, I just kind of feel bad.
Yeah,
It's not Evil's fault, I promise. Um, it's booking misfortune. I think it's booking malpractice. A lot of the direction of where this company goes. But I also think like this tournament had a lot of bright spots, if that makes
yes.
sense. Like
What
again, Yuya
what are
and
some bright
Tsuji.
spots of the G1 climax that you really enjoyed, Scotty?
I mean, I thought Yuya, Tsuji, and Oiwa were all like very bright spots in this. They all showed we are ready to bring this forward. Showed Umino didn't, but that's because he stinks.
I would also
Um
probably put it in that order of like Yuya, Suji, and Oiwa,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to do that, but yeah, you're right. I would agree. I mean, Yuya, he's a guy.
yeah,
Like he steps into these G1s, and we've seen over the last year, obviously he got hurt, so things changed, but he steps into this one, it's like him all over again. He just absolutely crushed it. Those three are the brightest spots.
Can I do
I
like a dark horse MVP pick? Weirdly,
absolutely, if it's evil, then shouts out.
oh well, I mean, obviously, well, he's the dark horse winner. He's the MVP winner. Tanahashi,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
He had great match. Like I have multiple 4+ star matches with Tanahashi in them in
He did everything
2025,
he could.
and a lot of them are with Suji, with Uemura, especially that Uemura match fucking ruled. David Finlay, of course. I think David
Yeah,
Finlay almost had like a quiet tournament to a certain degree, but
he did, but Dave Finley's fucking awesome.
yeah,
That was gonna be my next point. I don't know what New Japan can do to make sure he doesn't go, but like let every other guy leave. Make sure he stays.
yeah,
In terms of the international talent, like
sure,
he is so important, I think, to what they're doing. And I saw what they did. They brought it back Yudo and Oscar finally, and they're with him. So I find that to be interesting. That'd be a fun trio. Honestly, I kind of intrigued by that trio.
yeah.
I thought Finley, Finley ramped up, right? The opening of his tournament was like fine, whatever. He dropped a number of matches and
I
then
think it
went
was zero
undefeated
and
to close out.
three or something.
Yeah, and then he ramped it up and just crushed it as he often does. I think overall, when I watch New Japan now, like what I'm watching for is Tanahashi because he's on his retirement tour, but Uemura, Oiwa, Suji, and Finley. Like those are the four I watch this company for, and they all shine. So
Yeah.
to me, the G1 was a success, and Evil, of course.
I would also say, like, I thought like Ren Narita had a
Yeah, he
pretty
did a
solid
good job.
performance too.
He did. He showed you like what he can be if given the
He like
opportunity.
reminded us, like, oh, he's like, oh,
Yeah,
thank God this guy still exists here.
right. Like the idea is you let him wrestle, and we've said this for a long time with House of Torture. Maybe no one wants to hear this, but I don't care. We have a podcast. We get to say what we want. If you let them wrestle, they do a good job,
Yes.
right? Like the beauty of the Evil match, which Ryan is a big fan of, the Evil match is what we saw in the final, right? Him putting someone over in defeat and the crowd
Building up the heat, the pressure, it's a pressure cooker. You keep building up this heat, he wins and you keep winning to the point where the entire internet explodes, and that's the point where like, all right, we're gonna have the other guy win. They did it in the New Japan Cup, last year, I think.
Yeah, I think so. He lost to Tsuji, right?
I think
was
so.
It Tsuji?
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
Either
like,
way,
he beat Shingo, and that was the point where everyone was like, "Oh God, he's gonna win the whole thing." It was the same thing that happened.
It's what he does, man. Listen. I understand like getting mad about the Evil stuff because I think it was some of it was really bad this time around.
Agreed.
Because like
the Don Foley, sucks.
That part sucks. If Evil could have just like not had all them join, I think it would be better. But in the end, it's something that pays off. I think the main complaint isn't for me that Evil made the final. It's that it didn't make sense for him to make the final against a Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah.
It made the sense against one of the younger guys that they're trying to build up. But whatever. Who cares? Good for Takeshita though, huh?
Yes,
Good
Takeshita pick up the win.
That's pretty crazy. G1 winner.
It was I agree with you that it is like weird for this match to have exist. I am glad that it happened because it was a really fun match and really great match, I thought. Of course, it appeals to what I've been sort of liking of this Evil thing match type of this pressure cooker, and then everyone really into it. But it had a different dynamic, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But before we do that, I just want to shout out a couple comments here. First, Zach Minger, he's been doing a little bit of this every single time. He comes in and says it's National Pineapple Juice Day, and he comes in saying every single time it's a new day. And I just want to shout it out moving forward. Zach, National Pineapple Juice Day, shout out. Dylan, also in the chat. Number one, I don't know how Scott is awake. No one knows that. Number two, having Takeshita go through that block to win, it was a terrible move. Do you agree with that sentiment?
What'd you say? Sorry.
Do you agree with the sentiment that having Takeshita go through block B to win was a bad idea?
I mean, block B was pretty bad.
I mean, if he wasn't in the block, then block B would have sucked even more. I don't know. Like,
yeah. Well, then Evil and him would have faced off twice.
Sure.
They also had him and Zach face off twice, and now they're gonna face off a third time, which is very confusing. I think that's part of it, though, right? Like you saw Takeshita face the champion not once, but twice along the way.
I'm trying to remember, but I assume the first match Saber beat Takeshita.
Yes, you are correct.
Yes, Saber beat Takeshita during the blocks. Then in the playoff, Takeshita beat Saber, and now it's Takeshita versus Saber at some date.
I'm very confused, just like by the continued booking here. Like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, the booking's not great right now.
Like why are they?
I'll say this,
twice?
Scotty. The booking isn't illogical; it's just bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's not WCW illogical. It's just like, oh, well, this shouldn't be happening.
Yeah. You know what's also funny? I think the way this went, right, of like Zach and Takeshita playing heel for so much of the tournament until literally the final day. You would have thought this was building towards the match. It's not happening there, but you would have it would have almost made sense for this to be building towards the Forbidden Door match because then Takeshita can be heel there because it's in England, and it's like one, thank God that's not happening because New Japan fans would have a fit, and that would be stupid to begin with. I would not do that because it wouldn't be the main event. But that's just it feels like they thought that was the setting in a way by still pushing a heel, but I don't know. None of it makes sense Gato's bad at his job. I think we can all agree at this.
Yeah.
But hey, congrats to Takeshita. You and me had talked about multiple times him winning the G1 throughout the year.
Yep.
I just didn't think it would happen this way. We thought we picked him and Suji for the final. We were so close.
We were very close.
We were so close.
I think because we also had Evil in there too, I think.
Of course we did. But yeah, we did have it because we said Suji beats Evil and then powers through. Oops. Is there anything from this tournament that you wish that was better outside of like the booking?
To that, I almost sort of look towards individual performances, and I'm trying to go through in my brain just think of individual performances. Like there were some people that are like, I think like Oleg Bolton had like a solid tournament, but I would have liked it to be a little bit more of something, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like there was like
I think they put him in too many early matches. I think that was my problem. They didn't give him a chance to have like the main event match.
Agreed.
So I think he did the best he probably could in that. In maybe that role.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Similar way to a certain degree of like Taichi. It's like it's like I thought
Taichi
did a good job, but just like can we do something with this guy?
Yeah, he had a hot start, and then they kind of pushed him to the back of the line again.
Yeah. I mean, this was not a tournament that I watched every single match like in years past.
No,
so I was definitely skipping around for sure. I thought Shingo did a really good job. I like Yoshihashi. I think Zach did a good job in his sort of like heel sort of thing. I would have liked a little bit more from Saber, but still is really solid. Like it's a lot of the Block B stuff I thought had like solid performances, but no one other really than like Takeshita was like consistently great for me. Which I think speaks to like that block of Block B. But like I thought like Shingo had a great performance here and there. Zach had a great performance here and there. Did anyone have a bad performance in this G1? I mean, there's certainly people I don't think I saw a single match of it, that being like Sonata. Is Evil? Did Evil had a bad performance? I mean, there were a lot of matches that people didn't enjoy, but like he got to the finals. And he had a great performance there, I thought. Did Shota Umino have a bad performance? I thought he had his standard fare, which is kind of just boring.
Yeah.
But, I think like this tournament for me wasn't like there was I have to be honest, I have not watched every single match of the tournament. But of what I saw,
having a life.
Yeah, but of what I saw, I
because you watch
generally thought was good, but I did skip a lot, and so I think that's the big aspect of things. I do know that there are a lot of people that did not like this and said things like it was trudging along and ending with a whimper and all these sort of things, and there was a lot of negativity surrounding the tournament. So I think it's fair to say that there are people that were upset with this tournament. But what if I saw and experienced, I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying it. The problem is I'm also pick and choosing. So, I guess you have to take that with a grain of salt. But I thought the top tier, it was pretty consistent. I thought in years past, we've had some nights where it's like nothing's even scratching like 3.5 stars.
Sure.
I think what I'm trying to say is that it, for what I experienced, it felt like the floor was higher. But I also know that I didn't watch every single match to really truly confirm that. So
here's my take on it.
Sure.
And this is just from my point of view. Again, I did not watch everything. I'm watching everything of 2 other tournaments. I would rather no.
Yeah.
But like I think this had a lot of great matches. Like I think this was one of the best. Maybe it doesn't have like the high match of the year.
Which this tournament hasn't had, and I think in years,
probably since at least obviously since Okada was in it, Okada and Bill. So yeah, I think this is as good as it can get, really, in terms of quality match wise for where they are at this point. So yeah, I mean, when all the matches you're singing the praise are outside of Tanahashi are the young guys, that's what you hope for out of the G1 at this stage.
Yep.
Now with Takeshita winning, you said the final was good, right?
I really like the final. Obviously,
I've seen a lot of people like it.
A lot of people online on Cage Match. Let me see if I can pull up the Cage Match.
Yeah,
here.
let's get the Cage Match. This is actually
Cage Match has it at 39 votes, 7.3.
That's pretty good for an evil match collectively.
The majority of the votes center around eight cage matches. But there are there's 1 vote for 4, 3 votes for 3, 1 point for 0. Like, this match is not a 0, but it is again the reaction of the evil stuff. People, as soon as people see interference in a match, when it comes to House of Torture, to be specific, they immediately turn their brains off and say, this match sucks and I hate it and I don't want to watch this anymore. There are other matches where you can have interference, like let's say the finals of All in Texas, that have interference and it still goes off really great and it makes logical sense with everything. And you and I come away having a 5-star experience.
Right. You know? I think with the this match, I saw a lot of people be like, oh, the first 5 minutes were what they were, but then from there it takes off, and it's like,
it was exactly that. So obviously going into this match, same thing that you and I felt and the world felt with All in Texas, was that there was going to be interference. We know that there's going to be interference. It's just a matter of how they do it. In this match, there's going to be interference to the House of Torture guys. So basically, they do their bits, and they attack Takeshita and everything for the first 5 minutes or so, and then after all the 5 minutes, Rocky Romero and the rest of the unaffiliated Young Lions get rid of all of the House of Torture members, and then for the next 20-ish minutes, we have just one-on-one singles wrestling between Evil and Konosuke Takeshita, and it did and to be fair, it did take a little bit to really get out of that initial sort of interference funky sort of thing. But then once it got going, it really got going. I thought the closing stretch of this match was very fun. I thought Takeshita's performance was really great. Obviously, he's been playing heel for a while, so it was sort of, in a way, again, going back to the booking of it all, jarring to sort of have him be kind of playing the babyface. But at the same time, Evil, Scotty, was so over in this build. Walker Stewart kept saying it was 50-50. I felt like it was closer to 75-25 because Evil was constantly over. Whenever it was Takeshita was pinning Evil at a certain point and Evil kicked out, the crowd would cheer. And then when Evil went to pin Takeshita and Takeshita kicked out, the crowd would go oh, you know what I mean? They're not cheering that Takeshita. They're sort of oh, okay, the match is continuing. But when Evil kicks out, they're like, yeah, everything is Evil is so over. He goes for it, and the entire crowd's like, ee! And then he reverses or whatever. Evil was so over in this match, it was crazy. And it made me reflect on that idea that I think the Japanese crowd loves Evil. I think
me too, man.
I think it was Walker Stewart that pointed this out. Whenever Evil does anything, he was getting cheers. But as soon as a House of Torture member gets involved, like Red Narita, who, by the way, he came out after Rocky Romero got rid of everybody else, and then Zack Sabre Jr. came out and got rid of Red Narita. As soon as Red Narita got involved and any of the other shenanigans started happening, the crowd started booing. The crowd loves Evil and wants Evil to win, but then they don't like the House
Evil.
Of Torture.
They don't like the rest of House of Torture, and honestly, I feel the same way. So I get it.
Takeshita's performance was outstanding as that sort of underdog babyface in a weird way.
It's almost like that's his perfect role, and he's still miscast.
Yes,
in his other promotion,
he did the bits where his knee was getting worked on, and so he runs to do the fire knee or burn knee or whatever it's called, and he collapses under the knee weight. He does a suplex, he does a big old German suplex, and then he's doing the thing where he can only use one leg because his other knee hurts.
That's classic. Yep.
His back gets worked on during the match because Evil now has the Darkness Scorpion, I think is what it's called. The sharpshooter, let's say.
The Scorpion Death Block, yeah.
Takeshita Evil at one point goes for the everything is evil, and Takeshita's back gives out and he just collapses instead of going for the actual move, which is always a good bit. The best bit for me, the moment that really I was like that got me to the next stage of all right, I'm fully into this match, was Takeshita is in the Darkness Scorpion lock. Evil's really putting on him. Takeshita can't reach the ropes. This is deep in the match. And he goes and hits the mat one time. And the crowd's like, whoa! And Red Shoes Oda was like, is that a tap? Is that a tap? Because Takeshita gives up in that moment, taps the mat one time, goes for a second, and then stops. And he's like, no. I take it back. I have never seen a guy in this in modern day, especially this very old school back in the day, you would see people like hit the ground, but that wasn't like them tapping. This tapping ideology is more of an MMA thing that has brought itself into modern pro wrestling. I've never seen someone in a modern age, Scotty, hit the mat, fully hit the mat, and then like give up on tapping out and be like, no, I was kidding. I take that back.
Yeah.
And the Red Shoes allowing it. That was the moment where I was like, I've never seen that before. That was a really cool just bit, you know? It was like the first time seeing Omega doing that collapsing spot for the Rainmaker. It was like, I haven't seen anybody just do that collapsing spot yet.
A lot of what I love in tournament wrestling, you know, despite me being tired from it, is like the struggle of a submission. I think that, you know, plays to the tournament and how long it's gone and the gruelingness of that and the survivability of a wrestler and trying to stay alive. You know, that's something that I really focus on, especially like, for example, today's 5-star show is the final like round robin day. So like people were fighting for their final spots and things like that. And you have a better appreciation for when someone's locked into, you know, a major submission, because it's like this could be it. That's kind of been the story people have told throughout the tournament. So for Evil, who just beat Yota Tsuji literally yesterday with this move, it creates
kind of, but yes.
Well, kind of, but it creates the idea of, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe this is over. Maybe Takeshita is done, and Takeshita playing to that, you know, also selling the leg throughout the match. I think that's kind of the beauty of tournament wrestling, and it's why I think anytime you watch a tournament, at least watch some of the tournament or the match before, you know, the final, instead of just kind of zooming in for just the final, because I think for certain wrestlers, they're telling a story and there's a story being told from start to finish. Again, it's why tournaments can be so great. It's why, you know, I think from time to time I get a little angry with like, oh, it was a great match, but like, am I going to remember? Was there cohesion here from what this wrestler's been telling? And, you know, I've been watching a lot of tournament wrestling, so it's like, you know, who's doing that, who's not. And I think that's kind of like the beauty. You know, Takesha's been selling leg a lot throughout this tournament. I know that. Evil has made this submission in one day become like the terrifying moment for many. And I think that's kind of just like the perfect hand-in-hand moment that leads to a great final moment, you know, where he's able to survive that.
I thought the match construction was really put together well.
That's something Evil does really well, and no one wants to hear that. Okay.
Yes. The Evil match structure, that pressure cooker match that we talk about, the ones with Yota Tsuji, the ones with Tamatanga, the ones where it all comes down to building up that pressure, and then it's the match construction at the end of the day. Doing the bits with the House of Torture members at the beginning, and then having them all eliminated 5 minutes into this match, and then getting that out of the way is part of that whole ideology. Yeah, you have to do it, but we're gonna do it and then get rid of it almost immediately. And then it's about, you know, Evil working the knee and then Evil working the back, so that you then build up to the Darkness Scorpion lock, which works the knees and the back, right? Obviously more so the back. Which makes it difficult for Takeshita to maybe use his back for suplexes and the bridge for with his legs. It's harder to run for the running knees. Everything was put together and placed really well together. I thought this was a great match. I went 4 flat on it. there were some things that I was like, yeah, you know, that were a little tiny gripes here and there, but like I thought it was a really, solidly great match here.
I
And the
think
match construction is extremely important, Scotty.
like something people forget is like Evil's a good wrestler. I can't stress this enough. Like, he is a good wrestler. I know people want to say he's not, but because of the gimmick they give him doesn't make him a bad wrestler. He's a very smart wrestler. I think he's a very good wrestler when he gets the opportunity to be that wrestler. And
like I would
this
say the
match is
G1 final.
yeah, like if he could stop doing the gimmick tomorrow, I don't know if he would, because one, he's over. So like that matters. But two, like it does a lot of good for his body. Like
Yeah.
I think that's something, that we've talked about before. But when you can give this big moment and ultimately it's to Takeshita, like I said, had this been to Uemura or Tsuji, I think people are celebrating in the streets, quite frankly, like
Sure.
going into it, because it's like they put over the guy.
It's
I think
also, by
people
the
are
way, real quickly, if Tsuji beat Evil, we would have got Tsuji versus Takeshita, and I'm sure that'd be fine.
sure.
Is Tsuji winning that?
Yeah. I don't know. Clearly not. Considering Takeshita won. And now it's like looking forward. Like, what are you doing? You have to also remember, like, Evil beat Tanahashi on his
Mhm.
final G1 match. Like, this was to build up the mega heel to put over someone, and it's not my problem that they picked Takeshita. At the end of the day, like, they should have picked Yuya, they should have picked Tsuji. We agree on that, but they
But
did.
also at the same time, part of me is like, hey, folks, but it's also Takeshita. He's like a
Right.
wrestler of the year
Oh, you want to hear a funny
nominee.
story? You want to hear a funny story? So my friend, who doesn't follow New Japan at all, but
Mhm.
like goes on social media or whatever, messaged me. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. He messaged me yesterday morning. He said, "Why do people act like Takeshita winning the G1 is bad? Grow up."
That's how I feel.
He
That's how I
said,
feel. It's Takeshita. Yeah, I would have liked, again, it's going back to like the booking thing. It's like, yeah, I would have liked Tsuji to win. I would have liked Uemura to win. I would have liked all these guys to win. But it's Konosuke Takeshita, a
yeah.
potential wrestler of the year right now.
It absolutely ended me that he said that. And he was like, well, I get like Evil's bad. I was like, no. That's not where we're gonna go right now. But yeah, I was like, when he hit the grow up line, I was like, that's very
Grow up.
funny.
It's really good.
And I think, like, I don't know, Takeshita is awesome. And here's I think the perfect scenario at this point. Takeshita
Mhm.
wins the belt before Wrestle King.
Yeah, so that's the next steps, is what is next. The problem is we don't necessarily know, I guess. I presume that the match is happening again at, well, what did we say? King of Pro Wrestling, whatever that show is.
Yeah, sounds right.
We figured it out last week, and I totally forgot what it was. I just know it wasn't Power Struggle. It was the other one.
Destruction in Kobe.
No, that's like in March or something.
No, that's New Beginning.
No, that's like January. New Beginning's January. It's New
No,
Beginning.
yeah, well, it goes far. Hold
Now
on.
I'm looking it up again. Now we're 2 weeks in a row. We're looking at what this fucking show is called.
King of Pro Wrestling sounds right.
Let's
Let's look at last year, World Tag League. Power Struggle, King of Pro Wrestling 2024.
It's probably King of Pro
By the way,
Wrestling. That's gonna be October. And Ryogoku.
screw you. Destruction in Kobe happened in September 29th last year, so screw you, buddy.
How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, but
So we were both right.
So we have to assume that it's either happening at King of Pro Wrestling again, like it did last year, or is happening at Wrestle Kingdom. Obviously,
Yes.
I would prefer they go back to the Wrestle Kingdom format because I like that more. But if it's King of Pro Wrestling, that then leaves open the door of, let's say, is it Saber winning or is it Takeshita winning? Then who is he facing at Wrestle Kingdom?
Right.
That is very interesting to me.
Yeah. I would just do it at Wrestle Kingdom. Like,
I would do it.
Get back to that. Even if I don't think that's a ticket selling match necessarily for New Japan.
Takeshita versus
It doesn't
Saber.
freaking matter because Tanahashi's retiring on that show. So
Agreed.
you can do literally whatever you want.
Agreed.
And I guess you could argue those are your two biggest stars. I don't really know what Takeshita's star power is. I know Zach's is minimal. Yet we keep
His
going
drawing
back
power at
to
the
him.
very least.
Yeah. But it'll be a great match. So I mean, I'd like it. I think I'd like it to just go to Wrestle Kingdom 1 because I don't care. But 2, because we just did 2 of them. So like, do I need a third tomorrow? No. But if they do it sooner, you could always put Yuya or Suji in that big spot.
That's what I was thinking. I would, if we did Takeshita and Zack Sabre Jr. at King of Pro Wrestling, I would do maybe Suji like that. Something like Suji at Wrestle Kingdom. That's what I would do.
I remember Suji and Takeshita have a pretty awesome match last year in the G1.
Yeah.
I think him and Yuya did too, which is funny that they kept them all separated this time. Makes you think, huh? Maybe.
It makes me want the match. Maybe
I would like to see Takeshita win the belt. Why not? I don't care.
I don't care either. Why not? He's great. Again, Wrestler of the Year potentially.
Right,
Yeah,
like
why not?
He's been fantastic. The G1's just a nice feather in his cap. So shouts out to Takeshita. Congratulations, New Japan fans. I wish you all the best.
I also sort of question the
easy.
idea, Scotty, of Evil was so over. Do we want to separate Evil from House of Torture? Do we have
I mean,
that
listen, I have been having that conversation for years because it would be a fascinating decision that I don't think they're willing to make.
Yeah, me neither. But
if they did,
watch the match, you'll be like, man, this guy's fucking over. Jesus Christ.
If they did, I'd give him the world title tomorrow.
Yeah, you should have won the G1 then. Let's move on. Let's talk about Forbidden Door. Let's talk about Forbidden Door. That's next week.
Evil won't be there.
I will not be there at Forbidden Door.
No, Evil, not you.
No,
Evil won't.
He will not be there, as according to
Tony Khan's a fraud.
Tony Khan hates Evil, apparently.
Which is baloney, by the way. Do you know how sick an Evil match would have been on one of these shows?
I agree.
It's fine. Evil doesn't need that. It's fine.
He doesn't. You got a hot wife.
Evil FC don't need Forbidden Door. This is Evil Fight Club right here. We back Evil. I know it's football club, like I know what FC means, but this is Fight Club for Evil.
Yeah, and Evil FC only makes it more confusing since the show's in London, England.
Touche. The British don't deserve Evil anyway. It's fine.
Forbidden Door next week.
You can get Zach
next Sunday, the O2 Arena in London, England. This is, of course, the AEW New Japan crossover show. Mostly AEW, though, I'll say. Not a lot of New Japan on this show.
There's not a lot of anyone on this show, right?
We got maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say 4 New Japan people. Now, and there's going to be a Stardom, so I guess you could say 5.
1 Stardom. No, you can't say 5. That doesn't count.
Yeah, well, if you extend it to Bushiroad, then we're going to say 5. And
1
then, yeah, that's it. That's it.
And 1 CMLL. By the way, this show, I like to push this. Like, the idea of this show now isn't just AEW New Japan, right? Last year, they told us this is now all 4 promotions. Every promotion that works with this, the same as Wrestle Dynasty, right? You saw all the logos on the thing. It's supposed to be the same. It's just they say these 2 present it.
Yeah. And
when there's 1 CMLL wrestler, 1 unnamed Stardom wrestler,
yep,
and 4 New Japan wrestlers,
yep.
What are we doing?
This is a big what are we doing with this Forbidden Door show anymore? And again, granted, like we've had these conversations. I mentioned how it would have made sense for it to be Adam Page versus Gabe Kidd here in a match. So maybe we lost somebody and they instead made the decision to go with MJF.
Yes. I mean, them going with that match shocked me. I thought they were pushing that off to All Out.
I agree. But they're doing it here. So it's all of these things together where it's just like this whole show does not feel like a co-promoted show. This just feels like an AEW show with people on it.
Why Why is Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne on this show?
Great. Well, England? Kip Sabian ... England?
I guess.
Yeah.
He wasn't on All In ever. Like, I mean, maybe he was, but I don't remember it. I don't. There's two ways to look at this show.
Yeah.
I think there's two ways. I think there is the just excited for wrestling like mindset, right? Because I do think this is in many ways an exciting card. But I also think, like, if you're expecting the fun of the inner promotional warfare and all these different companies coming together, it's an absolute bummer.
Yes.
Like, it is a absolute letdown. How have we gotten to a point where, you know, the women's division is at its healthiest, and yet you get Persephone on there, which isn't a shock, and then whatever Stardom wrestler
I
they
said that
decide
last
on.
year. You said, what's the female person? I said, oh, it's going to be Persephone, of course.
Oh yeah, but at least they got like Mystico on it in a form, right? Like
Yeah.
they ended up
Last year.
doing
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah. Oh, Persephone being on it, not really.
I
a
guess that's
shock.
also fair. There could be, and there probably will be, more New Japan people on the pre-show.
But like, that's not a good thing. That's
Agreed.
Like, you just absolutely nailed like why that's a problem. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full matches of AEW only on this show. That's half. That's half the main card.
That is more than the number of New Japan wrestlers.
And for what it's worth, the steel cage is just 2 New Japan wrestlers, so it's not like it's not like this. It's a big show. I don't know. I have a real problem, I think, overall with this card when you want to just talk about like the idea of what the show is supposed to be. But I'm also looking forward to the show because I do think there's a lot of great matches on here. So it's a weird feeling.
If you look at it like an AEW pay-per-view, I think this is a pretty solid card. If you look at it as a co-promoted show with New Japan, I would then question how long this show lasts in terms of concept.
It shouldn't last long. Like, you know what this show feels like to me? This show feels like this is Tony Khan. He pays he pays the bill, and he says he has final say. And ultimately here, he just kind of went with his own card and got a little. And I have a really tough time because I've seen this a lot. AEW fans like blame like the state of New Japan and things like that. We can't just like sit here and not act like all the people that created the interest of Forbidden Door haven't been signed over the past 4 years.
I mean, Okada's on the show, and he used to be on the show in New Japan capacity. Now he's an AEW guy.
Right. He used to be the bit him and that's fascinating. It's on right.
Ospreay, obviously.
Him and Okada and Ospreay were 2 of the big selling points, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they both signed with AEW. So it's like, obviously that takes away. And I don't know if Yu Uemura can go to England to fight in Rev Pro, which he is literally 2 days before. Why can't you put him on a show here? You know, like, to me, him and Kyle Fletcher made a lot of sense. And they go with Hiromu, who's the biggest New Japan name on here, not named Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Well,
I guess.
You know what? I think about this every once in a while with Tony Khan. To me, Scotty, this reads like Tony Khan stopped watching New Japan like when a lot of other people did at the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because there are this new wave of young guys like Tsuji, like Uemura. Now, granted, he has brought in Shooter a lot, and that's obviously with the Moxley.
Well, that's disgusting. Moxley. But
but like, and Gabe Kidd isn't here, so that also kind of takes it away. But like,
you bring that up. Gabe Kidd's signing with AEW next year.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, that's not hidden, and
that
I think that's again
up
part of
January,
the problem.
April, whenever that is.
Yeah, January area. Like, he's joining this company.
Yes.
Like that's another part of the main event. So like it's really one guy that feels truly New Japan, and it's the guy that's not going to be wrestling this time next year.
Yeah. He's the president of the company that will not be here next year on this card. And that's what I think is. It's like, okay, who's going to be the representative of New Japan next year? And to me, it's like Tsuji, Uemura. I'll even take like a Ren Narita.
And
I'll even take a shooter for God's sakes.
And you should be putting them on the show now so people know them.
Yes, and they'll probably be in the pre-show, right? Like Tsuji was in that pre-show last year, the Mystico one, right? And if I recall correctly, Tsuji did not have a great performance in that show.
He was actually the bad part of that match.
Yeah.
So
I understand Tony Khan being like, I don't want Tsuji right now.
Yes and no.
Like David Finlay, where the fuck is David Finlay? I'll say that too.
That's a great question, Tony Khan. You not a fan of David Finlay too, buddy? We're gonna have some problems. So I want that report. Why don't you say that publicly? You could say it about Evil because he's disliked. Clearly, you don't like David Finlay. David Finlay versus like Hangman would have been great.
Can we also say of that report, how crazy is it for a guy that runs a wrestling promotion to outwardly say, I don't like this other top wrestler of another company?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a great point. Let's talk about that. Of the partnership company, I don't like the guy they're pushing
in the finals of the G1
against that is something that was publicly said. Like he didn't say it, but like
publicly said through an intermediary, basically.
Right. Like he's not going to come out and deny it. He's like, "Oh no, I love you." Like he's not going to say that.
If you love him, where is he? Where's the title match?
Exactly. Like that's weird.
You can't have Gabe Kidd. Evil versus Adam Page would have made sense. I said it before. I said it all in Texas. It would have made sense for it to be Evil versus Adam Page. It's the same premise as Death Riders. You get to do the match again in the House of Torture.
That would have objectively been a better match than the MJF one.
I agree. And then you can hold off MJF a little bit longer.
But you don't like
more sense.
Also, hold on. You don't like Evil's work, but you like MJF's work? Have you seen him?
Look, I get it. Evil was not in Happy Gilmore 2. I understand that's the problem here.
Yeah, but
Hiroki Goto.
Oh my god. Yeah, this show's like kind of a bummer when you like think about it deeply. Yeah. If you just look at the card and just treat it as is, it's like, oh yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, like I said, you treat it like an AEW pay-per-view. It's like, all right, this is a pretty good show.
Yeah, like again. Okay, I gotta do it. I was gonna hold myself back. I had to listen to. How long has Forbidden Door going? 4, 5 years now.
Probably 4 years.
Yes, it's 2021. Sounds right. 2021, 2022, 2022.
I'm looking it up right now.
When was 2022 because CM Punk was supposed to be world champion on that show. Then Moxley and Tanahashi faced off for the vacant belt. Is that correct?
Yes.
Put on the board. Yes. So this has been happening since 2022. Okay. I have had to hear for years about why Stardom wasn't on the show to begin with. Remember that? Do you remember that, Ryan?
Yes.
And who we had to we blamed certain people. That's neither here nor there. So fast forward to now, we have a whopping 1. And we are sitting here a week from the show, and the 1 isn't even announced.
Yeah. And when will that person be announced? Wednesday, maybe?
This is me having a problem with AEW fans, attacking like because a lot of the time, because Stardom would always have like a pay-per-view that lined up with Forbidden Door, and they'd be like, how dare he book this show in the same time as Forbidden Door. Guys, I don't know if you've noticed, the same thing happened again.
Yeah.
The 5-star final is the day before this time. So like the continued problems are there of like this idea, and ultimately like it's just one wrestler, but I feel like that problem kind of disappeared for some reason because of reasons I'll never figure out. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but hey, listen, it's fine. We don't know who it's going to be. We're going to preview this show acting like we know who it's going to be. So we have one Stardom wrestler, one CML. One CML wrestler is actually more insane to me, quite frankly.
It's less insane to me because it's the New Japan co-promotion. I get that, like, we include CMLL
Yeah.
and Ring of Honor and all that stuff now, but
Sure.
like, you know what I mean?
I have to look at what last year was, just because like they work with CML so much, and maybe it's because of the maybe it's because of the doing the CML shows this year. Maybe that's part of it. I could definitely see that be part of it.
Last year from CMLL, it had Hechicero,
against MJF. I will never forget it.
Stephanie Vaquer, which I guess was also technically maybe New Japan as well because she was the Strong Women's Championship match.
No, she's CML.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like she was the New
Japan. That match got her signed away from CML, so I'm counting it CML.
And I think that's it. Just 2.
Well, Mystico was on it, and Teton.
I'm not counting the pre-show because we don't know how many CML guys are going to be in the pre-show this year too.
That's true. Well, I'm just looking at this now. There were 2 Stardom wrestlers on the pre-show last year, and then 0 on the main card. Correct?
Mina.
Right. Mina was Stardom at the time, so there were 3. And that satisfied everyone after complaining the previous 2 years. I think that's fascinating, but that's neither here nor there.
I don't know. Counting how many New Japan guys were on the card last year. El Phantasmo is 5, Naito is 6, and that's it on the main card.
Wow. How about that?
2 less this year.
How about that? That's
2
fascinating.
less. 2 less New Japan people, 1 less CMLL person, and the same amount of Stardom people.
Yeah, on the main card, correct.
On the main card, yes. Because we don't know what the pre-show is this year,
right,
so I can't compare.
Yeah. I don't know. Well,
should we get to the show itself?
Sure.
Well, we have, if you can believe it, the reunion of Adam Copeland and Christian Cage is happening on this show. And if they can get along, of course, Scotty, they will be facing the matriarchy of Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. So yeah, however many decades or whatever it's been since Christian and Edge, they're now reuniting, presumably, if they can coexist at Forbidden Door.
It says Forbidden Door, like Adam Copeland and Christian Cage.
Should be a fun match
put on this show. Ultimate TV match put on pay-per-view.
Yeah. This is it. Look, I understand. Like it gets on the pay-per-view because it's a big deal because of its Christian and Cage or Christian and Cope.
Christian and Cage.
It's Christian and Cage reunion. Like I understand. Like that's how it gets bumped up. But obviously, to me, it's like, well, they're just, we're saving the better match for All Out.
Then why don't you just wait?
I don't know. Because you want to do it on pay-per-view. I don't know. It's fine. It's whatever. It's you're gonna get their spots or whatever.
It would have been a nice TV main event.
It would have been a great TV main event. I agree. Well, the problem is like historically, Adam Copeland is not a draw, so I don't think it's like, is it worth it?
I mean, whatever. I mean, this is the best role for both of them. That's kind of my main take from all of this. Weird way to get here.
Agreed.
I wonder if he found himself.
Do you think he found his old pair of pants, or do you think he's still going to rock that turtleneck?
Oh, I hope he found the old pair of pants. He's definitely rocking the turtleneck.
I hope he rocks both.
Oh, good point. Good point. We do like the turtleneck.
Next up, TNT title match: Kyle Fletcher versus Hiromu Takahashi.
Sure.
Yeah, fine little match.
It should be fun. It's a good one for Fletch.
Agreed. Agreed. Nice little title defense.
Sure, there would have been other people I picked from, but I think this will be a good match.
I agree.
It's like one of the only AEW versus New Japan matches too. So.
That is accurate. It should be a solid match.
And
TBS
fitting
title
for the
match.
match, fitting for the title, you know,
Mhm.
unlike the world title match. No offense.
We'll get to that. TBS title match: Mercedes Moné versus Alex Windsor versus Persephone versus Stardom Mystery Person. Last week, I think you said Azame. Last week, I said Bozilla would have been a fun little shot here.
I think there's zero shot. No, I won't say zero, but I don't expect Bozilla.
Disappointing.
There was someone that I knew that was at least in the conversation, but I don't know if it's going to work out that way. I'll just keep going with Azumi for now.
Yeah, I was like, that brings us to the 5-star Grand Prix, and who's freaking available?
No one.
It would have to be someone that loses in the playoffs and or quarterfinals.
Correct. So
or I guess is not in it whatsoever, but those people probably will not be in this match.
For the people who would like to know who that is. So everyone that made the playoffs and will face on Wednesday. Azumi and Hanan face off in round 1. Bea Priestley faces Rina in round 1. Suzuki and Bozilla in round 1. And Ami Sourei and Momo Watanabe in round 1. The 4 buys are Sari, Sayori, Natsupoi, and Saya. So I would guess Azumi would be open for that day. I don't see her beating Saya Kamatani or
Scotty,
Hanan.
I feel like
probably.
There's somebody that's a starter representative that we didn't consider that we should probably consider. We should probably consider Bea Priestley, right?
That would be hilarious.
From England, would be currently working Stardom.
If that counted,
formerly worked in AEW.
If that counted, there would need to be a serious discussion because that should not count.
It could,
because I'm pretty sure she leaves in September, and like doesn't have a plan to come back right now. So
to Japan,
yeah.
Well, this would be the forbidden door step into making sure she has a job when she doesn't come back in September.
Yeah, I think your best bet is probably still Azumi. So
yeah.
Yeah.
We should stay on top of that. We should stay on top of that. Suzuki versus Bozilla, winner faces Sayori Anu. Ami Sourei versus Momo Watanabe, the winner faces Sari. Azumi versus Hanan, the winner faces Saya Kamatani. And then Bea Priestley versus Rina, the winner faces Natsupoi.
Yeah, I put a lot of work into making that all make sense. Thankfully, I was juggling a lot of things last night, as you could tell. But yeah, it's gonna be Azumi.
Presumably one of these 12 people will probably be in the match. Big enough star, but one of them are gonna be one of them's gonna lose, obviously.
I think what's important is to know who has been into the US this year. That might open the door of they have their visa. Well, I guess it's going to the UK. I don't know how that works. But
good question. Good point.
But for the sake of the conversation, we'll just act like it matters in terms of people that are willing to travel.
Sure. People who have traveled this year to other matches.
Suzuki wrestled in the US this year.
I mean, Bozilla obviously would still be available.
Bozilla, of course.
Probably not a member of the EU, is England, so never mind.
Right. Yeah.
Ami Sourei, yes.
No, she was still hurt.
Didn't she? But she's done it before, right?
No, she didn't go last year either. Maybe Momo did.
Yep. Azumi did, obviously.
Azumi did. Hanan did. So all those are opportunity.
Bea, obviously. Rina, I don't think so.
Rina did not. Saya did not. Natsupoi did not. Sariano did not. And Sari does do the Suki. It's not Sari.
Yeah. We're basically looking at Suzuki, Bozilla, Momo Watanabe, Azumi, and Bea Priestley.
Yeah, probably. I don't think it'll be Bea. I'll tell you that now. I don't think it'll be Bea.
don't know.
I
Unless
don't think it
Scotty
will be
knows
B.
anything.
No,
But
I don't think it will be B because I think she's just going to be sticking in Japan. She beat Saya yesterday. I think she's going to have a world title match.
sure.
So I don't see her going back and forth. That's kind of where I'm at. Also, didn't she get fired from AEW?
She got let go because of the pandemic.
Okay, that's great optics.
I don't think
sad to think about.
at least publicly. I don't know anything rumored or anything. But
Yeah,
like,
I didn't remember how.
if I recall correctly, it was because it was during the pandemic. They're not in the States. They can't fly in, so we're just gonna let you go because
Yeah. Anyone who's
there's no
not
point.
in the semifinal after Wednesday is up for topic or up for conversation. Starlight Kid's not in the playoffs.
That's true.
And was in America this year, so that would be a nice surprise.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of other people that that could make the jump that are obviously immediately available, like Starlight Kid. I think that would be a fun thing to do.
Yeah,
Has Mercedes wrestled Starlight Kid yet?
she has not.
Another. If you want to add another qualifier to who it could be, Scotty,
Oh,
who has Mercedes not wrestled yet?
Yeah, that is a big part of it. Though she has liked to go back to the well a lot recently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not going to happen. But Hazuki is just chilling. Oh wait, no, she has a match that day. Never mind. She actually finally has a match. She's still recovering.
She's still recovering. Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, they would have probably announced it. Funny enough, she's teaming with Hikaru Shida in Japan next month. So she should be back by then. But yeah, I think, who does Mercedes want to pick? That's what we're having the conversation about at the end of the day. Who does Mercedes want to wrestle but not have a singles match against? Oh, Osmi. All right, sounds good.
Either way, Mercedes Moné retaining the title, so not much more there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
AEW World Tag Team title match. We don't know what this match is going to be yet. Obviously, it's going to be Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus somebody. The question is if it's going to be FTR or Brody King and Bandito. I think for me, Scotty, I'm really leaning for it to be FTR because that's what they've sort of been building the story to. It makes sense if you want to do the whole conspiracy theory of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin and Hurt Syndicate not putting over other people, them putting over former WWE guys in FTR as well. Even though they've been there like 5 years, makes sense to a certain degree, but also because then it builds up a title match between FTR and Christian and Cope, which I think is another thing that they would want to do. So that's where I'm kind of leading with all of this. What do you think of the match?
You're absolutely freaking right. FTR versus them in Toronto. Maybe the main event. Christian
that could easily be the main event. Yeah,
if you want to hold off on a world title match for some reason,
or if you had to push your world title match to a pay-per-view before.
Though at that point we will start getting into the problem of once again Hangman Page not main eventing pay-per-views. Let's maybe not do that, please, because I'll start to freak out a little bit. Yeah, that's FTR winning fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hurt Syndicate is at run a good length with the tag titles. I think it makes sense to move on at this point, and then put them in like the trios titles, which exist still. Question mark.
Maybe they leave. Remember wasn't that like the part of the story? Like their contracts may or may not be up.
Is it? I don't remember that part.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, is there anything to read into? By the way, did you see all the new WWE copyrights that they've made recently?
Yeah,
they copyrighted Scott Dawson.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. No, they just probably want those names so someone else can't take them, I guess. Yeah. I saw someone
on Reddit say that maybe WWE got scared because the Young Bucks are doing a bunch of their older names. And they're like, maybe they don't want else to do it. And then someone replied, like, I doubt Nick Khan saw Mr. Instant Replay and that got scared.
I like the idea that he did, though. Yeah, I think the Hurt Syndicate losing here is probable now. Probably best at this point to get the belts off of them. Based on Speedball will be pumped. That was a great video they made, by the way. I thought that was a fantastic way. That match should be good though. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe I think that's an interesting part of like this preview. Is like, oh yeah, the match probably will be good at least,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, speaking of what should be a really good match, Kazuchika Okada versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW Unified title.
Yeah, it should be great.
Should be a great match indeed.
I have a tough time getting excited for Okada matches pre the match, but like I look at this, I look at Okada, I look at Swerve, I say to myself, yeah, like
I think the build has been solid enough,
yeah, this is definitely a match I don't even need build for, which is nice. Should be great.
Yeah. I said build, and I want to mention this. The entire show's build for me for Forbidden Door. I don't know what it is, Scotty, but I'm not fully locked in. This isn't a show I'm necessarily fully excited for. I don't know how you feel.
I agree.
I can't pinpoint exactly what it is.
Well, I think part of it definitely has to do with what we've talked about of it not fitting the Forbidden Door feel. I think it's kind of hard. It's a weird way to feel because a lot of this is thrown together.
Mm-hmm.
Even Hangman and MJF, which has been building, still feels kind of tossed onto this show.
It feels early,
and you can't tell me the main event of the show doesn't feel thrown together. Like what is this thing? Like obviously, listen. I need to stress. I know it's going to be awesome. I get that.
The first Forbidden Door was a card that was extremely thrown together last minute, and the show was show of the year, I believe.
Right, like fantastic stuff. So I'm not saying a thrown together card, but going into it, it's like, yeah, we'll see. But like you look at this main event: Darby Allin, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Will Ospreay versus Claudio Mox, Gabe Kidd, and the Young Bucks. It's like, where did we pull that one out of our ass? Like, where the hell did that come from?
I don't know where that came from, but I'm glad it's here. We get the Golden Lovers. We get the reunion of Ibushi and Tanahashi. That's interesting.
There should be a talking point of how like Kenny Omega's grand return was just announced. By the way, he hasn't been seen since All In, and they're like, oh, he's in this cage match.
Yeah, the thrown together part of it all.
Yeah, it's really interesting for a year where Kenny's been presented as like this big, deal of kind of back into the I'm here to help others. I think that's interesting. But it should be a wild match. What is a light? We're jumping ahead. We will get to it in a second.
Let's just talk about it here because then we can do the world title as a
this is your main event, by the way.
Yes, this is a lights out, so it's 100% the main event. Steel cage match. Not blood and guts, no. Even though it has, I think, the exact number of people you need for a blood and guts match.
We celebrate that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We celebrate no blood and guts. Blood and guts,
especially you having to sit through so many blood and guts matches.
Once you sit through one, you never want to do it again. I did it twice. What is how do you fit 10 people in a steel cage?
I don't know. I don't know. I wonder if it's meant to be some sort of, they're going to construct the steel cage to be more of like the
Hell in a
Cell type thing. Like, remember that, I think it was Britt Baker Thunder Rosa match.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Yes, I do.
Was that also lights out? Because I think that was like a main event, but that was definitely a steel cage match. And that was weirdly like they were able to go underneath the apron and all these sort of things. So
that was a lights. Nope. Yes.
It was lights on, not lights in.
It was a steel cage match. That's all it was called.
Okay.
It looks big, but it's just their normal steel cage.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is their version of a Hell in a Cell type.
That's my guess.
Maybe they follow the New Japan cage, kind of, maybe a little
Ooh, bit. That's interesting. They do like the sort of surrounding, like, oh, I mean, they also just uploaded. Maybe this is something, maybe I'm reading into it too much, Scotty. They did just upload the ROH versus CZW tournament of death.
Oh, that's not reading too much into it. That's exactly what they're telling you.
Yeah, where it's that match. Great match, by the way. I forget what that tournament of death, something like that.
That's not the point.
Great match, big multi-man match sort of thing, and that was a sort of steel cage like in the sense of the New Japan style, where it's not surrounding the ring like WWE, but it's more of like a enclosure and like the New Japan things. The fact that they uploaded that makes me kind of think it could be that. It could just be we're
Maybe
going to
that's
do
what
that
lights
kind of
out
steel
means.
cage match, which would be the first for AEW, and I think it'll be fun and interesting to watch.
I would much rather that than them trying to fit them all in an actual steel cage.
I agree. So I think my guess is they're bringing that to AEW, and that's the lights out steel cage model, right? What separates the two is the lights out.
I think it's pretty crazy that out of all the matches they've put off, Darby Allin versus Moxley, which felt like it was going to just happen because it was being built the heaviest, is now being put off.
Yes. Yes.
I think that's fascinating. While MJF and Hangman get tossed on here.
We definitely haven't heard about it as much as like preview as the first year, but I definitely question how much of this card got put together last minute.
Yeah. I have no other words. They should book Evil. Anyways, continue.
AEW Women's World Title match: Toni Storm versus Athena. Obviously, Athena won All in Texas, the sort of gauntlet number one contender shot. So what's happening here at Forbidden Door?
This feels like the biggest match.
Overall, the entire show?
Because it's world champion versus world champion. They've been really like focused on this. Like out of all the matches on this show, this feels like it's had the true focus from start to finish of like, this was always the destination. This was always the match for this show. And I think
agree.
that's a good thing.
I think Swerve on Okada as well, but yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they get the advantage because they started it at the pay-per-view before.
Yeah.
With all in the last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It feels so long ago. It's a fascinating match because like, who wins? Probably Tony. Maybe Tony. If Tony wins, who's beating Tony?
Yeah.
Don't say Chris.
We were so gung ho. We were so gung ho for it being Mercedes Moné beating Tony at All in Texas, and then we were wrong. And now we're like, now what? And part of me questions like maybe the now what is Athena now wins it, and then we eventually able to do Athena versus Mercedes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say no.
He likes Athena. Athena's won every single match for the past century, I think.
Sure, she sure has, except for the one against Mercedes.
Yeah,
which I saw live.
Mr. Bragg. Maybe
I
don't know.
I think Tony just wins because last time I thought Tony was losing, she won.
Here's an argument. Here's an argument for Athena.
Okay.
We talked about how the male roster feels like, and there's been some conversation that the male roster feels like they have their guys. Ospreay, Paige, Swerve. You can throw in MJF as well if you like.
No.
But you know what I'm saying. They're pillars, if you will. And the women's, and the complaint, sort of not really complaint, but sort of the concern about the women's division was that like it's kind of like Mercedes and Tony, and that's kind of it.
It shouldn't be that way because there's like clearly people that should be part of that, but yes,
it should be Willow and Chris as well.
Yeah.
Athena is someone I think you can jump up into that grouping
instantly.
She has the credibility. She has the match output from Ring of Honor for the past several years. Obviously, the credibility as world champion.
You could argue people thought she'd already be there.
And beating Toni Storm for the title would certainly put her up there. You would have to imagine. Obviously, the match would also have to be great. But you think that could get us there. And I think it could. And I also think we're building to some sort of match structure, Scotty, where we're going to be fighting over 10 belts in a moment with Mercedes as well. So, Mercedes versus Athena for the Ring of Honor and the TBS and the women's title and the Polish title, or whatever the heck that is, the Rev Pro title.
The Polish title.
I think we're like building to some sort of freaking Ultimo Dragon match, which he should be the referee. So I think that's I think if you want to build up anybody, yes, it should be Chris or Willow. But Athena has the credibility and the backbone that I think you could easily bump her up and do that and pull it off successfully.
Fuck it. Have Athena win.
Yeah, baby. Let's do it. Next up, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Nigel McGuinness for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. This came about with Nigel McGuinness winning a number one contenders 4-way match on Collision yesterday. And now he's going to face Zack Sabre Jr. Is he going to beat him? Is he going to be Nigel McGuinness versus Konosuke Takeshita?
No.
But this will be a great, I think, technical experience in England.
So can I be the asshole now?
Sure.
Nigel McGuinness returned to wrestling in 2024. Before yesterday on Collision, he started his return 0-4. He lost the Casino Gauntlet, which is whatever. Lost to Bryan Danielson. Lost a pure title match against Lee Moriarty. That final battle. And then was him and Daniel Garcia lost to FTR in the longest match of all time.
And now all it takes is one match.
Yeah. Now it's Nigel, so no one gives a shit. Everyone's just happy that it's him versus Zach. So it's fine.
This is one of those matches of like, okay, yeah, this match is only existing because we're gonna have a technical masterclass in England. That's all it is, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say no to that. You know, it's like, oh yeah, that should be a fun match to watch. I'm very excited to see that match. How it got here
is
kind
that
of silly,
only works in England.
What's that?
A match that only works in England.
Yeah. It should
be
a
this
fun
match in the US, they'd not care.
Next up is another match, last match, AEW World Title match, Adam Page versus MJF. We've kind of already alluded to it. We both thought they would probably save this later. I thought that maybe this would be the Gabe Kidd match that kind of maybe got delayed. I don't know. But now it's happening here. Adam Page versus MJF feels kind of rushed, but you know, the fact that they're doing it along with the Athena match as well, it feels like we're locking in the Casino Gauntlet winner gets a match at Forbidden Door. So that's interesting to me. But yeah, MJF versus Adam Page. I mean, it kind of feels rushed because it feels like these are two guys that are like part of that pillar sort of gimmick thing that, you know, should be a bigger stage, and it's not.
So I actually have an idea of why this feels like it got moved up, and it doesn't have to do with your Gabe idea. Sorry. So All Out is the 20th.
Okay.
Anniversario is the 19th. MJF's not losing 2 matches in one weekend, with one of them being in CMLL first. Because, you know, him versus Mystico, title versus mask is happening at that show.
Oh, officially. So close to title versus hair, by the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mystico said it, and then MJF said no.
Yeah, I spent so much money on this. Of course not.
Fraud. Fraud. Could have been so sick.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's Mystico's first mask match since returning to CMLL. So,
ooh, nice.
Big deal.
Yeah, he's having.
So that's why
doing a big deal match next month.
Yeah, right. And I can't see Tony Khan wanting his world title challenger to lose the day before the world title match
to someone like Mystico.
How dare you say it that way?
No, I mean, like, Mystico is like a massive star, so it's like,
oh yeah.
He's gonna lose 2 days in a row to Mystico and Hangman Adam Page.
Had it been the other way around and All Out was a day before, I think it wouldn't have mattered as much, if that makes sense. Because again, like, it's like when Omega lost the TNA belt to Christian, right? Instead of losing it to Josh Alexander, because like he needed to lose the world title to Hangman, kind of like that mindset type thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big reason why it got pushed up, maybe instead, because it's like, oh well, MJF's doing Anniversario, he's gonna lose the thing to Mystico, so let's do this now while he's kind of riding high. It still feels rushed for sure. It feels like they almost forgot like that was happening and like that was part of the plan, because obviously Mystico and MJF have been building that match for months now. So that's fascinating. But overall, it's fine. I'm intrigued by the match because I liked their match earlier this year. I think Hangman brings the better out of MJF, but It's
Agreed.
still an MJF match, so I'm not super thrilled. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But it's in England,
I'm
so
in the
like
same
they
boat.
could just get off of heat too.
Yeah, I can sort of see why then, because of that, you would have to do a lights out event.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you
absolutely.
need something else, because this is kind of put together not necessarily haphazardly, right? Because that was always sort of the plan, but it was kind of put together last minute to a degree.
Yeah, it does
I think that
feel
makes sense.
thrown
I think that
together.
logic makes sense, Scotty.
Yeah, I'd also like to point out that I just realized that the Rev Pro shows next weekend, and my God, does it look bad. Anyways,
Shout out, Andy. Well then, great. That's Forbidden Door. We'll talk about it more next week. Maybe a Monday show. Now that I think about it, Scotty.
yeah, we can do Monday. I'm not going to want to record night after that show.
Yeah, there's a fly somewhere around here. It's annoying the hell out of me. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some news. Obviously, we wanted to limit our coverage of WWE moving forward, but they won't let us stop. And that, of course, is that we got the announcement via the Wrestling Observer newsletter by Dave Meltzer that WWE has an option to buy TNA Wrestling for a specific length of time, as well as the right of first refusal if TNA finds a buyer elsewhere. The specifics are unknown in terms of potential buy price and how long the option is good for. So yeah, obviously they got into a partnership in January of this year, Scotty. But it seems to be that part of that partnership is that WWE is given the option to buy TNA if they so choose. And if anyone else wants to buy TNA, let's say another company, WWE can say no. Kind of crazy, right?
Hell of a partnership.
Again, it brings up the question of what does TNA get out of this?
I thought the awesome story was like that weird rumor of like the TKO friend was gonna buy it, and then like it would be part of TKO. I was like, why? What does TNA get out of this? The same thing TNA always gets out of things. Nothing.
According to a WWE source, Meltzer learned that the option is a similar situation to when WWE had contracts with several European indies like WXW, OTT, and Progress years ago. That was obviously for
they didn't
content.
buy those.
What's that?
They didn't buy those.
They didn't buy those,
So,
but that was also for content on the network in exchange for European talent to work all those different things. RF Pro was obviously offered the same deal, but declined it. So they're not necessarily getting content. They're just having the ability to work on each other's shows and the option to buy them.
huh. Yeah.
What's your take? What's your take on all this? If you have one.
I was talking to a friend last night, and I think it's really funny that the two companies not AEW, WWE partnered with are two companies that were really bad beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, they didn't partner with AAA, they bought it, but like AAA was awful beforehand, right? Not saying it's better now, but it was awful beforehand.
It's different.
It's definitely different. And TNA was pretty bad beforehand, right? Like I think we can agree on that. So that's
famously it's roller coaster moments.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely worse now though than it was before.
Agreed.
So like my take is WWE is going to WWE, and we're just gonna watch it all unfold because that's what they do. TNA being bought. I mean, last year, you had thought that TNA would be bought by the end of the year at one point, and they were not because TNA never dies.
Yeah, well,
but now with this news, that might change.
we also have some additional news. This is also from Dave Meltzer, stating, of course, that he said earlier that CW and A&E have been rumored as potential landing spots for TNA wrestling. And it looks like if that so happens, this is just updates about Impact Wrestling, the TV show, of course, that both of the networks obviously already have relationships with WWE. They are looking for more wrestling spots. They look like it could be potential spots for TNA. And according to John Alba of The Takedown on Sports Illustrated, he provided an update that said that TNA Impact could move off of its current night of Thursday and onto Wednesday, where the show would serve as competition for AEW Dynamite. Scotty, what does TNA get out of this deal? Apparently, possibly a new television deal with the CW or A&E. And what does WWE get out of it? A wrestling promotion that is willing to go head to head against AEW. And so this looks to be what this whole partnership has been about, along with other news. I believe that also came out of WWE this week of WWE wants to kill AEW before their next TV deal. This looks to be the plan.
Man. And I thought AEW was in competition. That's what they said.
This is a multi promotion grab to just flush out the market and kill AEW.
I mean, listen, I had AAA on the background mostly because I didn't want to watch it. But I had it on the background, so I was listening to them, and they're like, "This is the place to be for Lucha Libre," and I'm like, "That's not even true. It's not even the place to be tonight for Lucha Libre. Like CML has a show down in Coliseo that's more exciting than this thing."
Yeah.
Like it's just like this over WWE. They're not even the evil empire anymore. They're just like this. I'm not gonna say that.
I was gonna say fungus. Like they're just
yeah,
can't
for
get
sure.
rid of this thing.
Like they just, and that's how they feel AEW is. Funny enough, based on what you just said. There's something new every week that just makes them more and more insufferable.
Oh, I know what you're referencing, baby, because I've probably talked about it in the past every single month of the show. Every single week, there's something new that's ever frustrating, and you just want to rip the seat out of your chair, rip the thing out of your chair, and break a bunch of pens in half.
Yeah, it's the same.
I had to text my father the other day to good luck going to work today.
Yeah. You know what's really funny though? Like they can't kill AEW by the next TV deal. This current TV deal made sure that's never gonna happen.
Yeah. I guess that's so they think obviously the plan is that and it's very much the Nick Khan idea of that if we battle time, we can destroy them. And the idea is to basically just flush the market, make it so that we have all this WWE programming for people to watch. Then we're also going to tell them that TNA and AAA are both important promotions for them to watch as well. And they will watch all this stuff and not watch AEW. The problem is that
I don't want to watch any of it. Yeah, you're right.
Which is part of it. But to that leads to this thing of there's not a lot of crossover between the two promotions, right? WWE fans don't already, like, we know this historically. WWE fans don't already watch AEW. It's mostly the AEW fans that watch WWE. And if they start getting overwhelmed by all the WWE stuff, are they willing to leave AEW? That's the gamble that that WWE is trying to play here. Is that if those fans that watch AEW get so overwhelmed with all the WWE stuff that they have to keep up with, will they just give up AEW? And part of me is like, I don't think the quality of these other promotions are good enough to sustain. Did you know TNA had a show this weekend? I didn't, and I didn't want to see it. AAA had a show this weekend, and it was fine. I don't know, or whatever. We'll talk about it in a moment.
There was nothing real. I only fully saw 4 matches, and I didn't really like any of them.
None of this stuff is like replacing AEW in any capacity for me because none of it is anywhere close to AEW in quality.
See, this is the conversation, right? That you and me have had for 3-4 years now, right? When AEW went through when AEW went through these waves of identity crisis, right?
Mhm.
Trying to attract WWE fans at one point, then just not really knowing who they were at another.
Yeah.
And here in 2025, they've refound their identity to a point where they don't give a shit what the other company is doing anymore.
We're
They're
just
doing
gonna
what
focus
they
on
do.
ourselves.
They're doing what they do, and
Mhm.
it's leading to success. And that is ultimately what will piss WWE off more than anything. You can make new fans by simply being your own product because, like you just said, you are different from everyone else, especially all of these promotions we are talking about. They're different from TNA, they're different from WWE and AAA. I don't really know what the competition is there. I think that's just more of a shot at CMLL, who's partnered with AEW. So, that's
Yeah.
how that works. But ultimately, like, it's not the same. And you can put TNA on Wednesdays all you want. That's not going to do good for them
I
in the
think
end.
all it does is it kind of it's not that it kills TNA because TNA would have a new TV deal.
It would NXT it.
Yes. I
What
think the
NXT did.
PR of it would hurt it more because TNA will get crushed in the ratings.
Yeah. I mean, if it's on the CW, I don't even know what it would do.
It would be, I think it would probably be smaller anyways.
How does NXT do on CW these days? No one
I
gives a
have no
shit.
idea.
That's how good. No one talks about it because no one cares.
Apparently the most recent stuff is that a lot of single men watch it. Uh, watch it, and a lot of the women are the bigger draws of the show. Huh, interesting. Put two and two together there.
I don't even know who's in NXT.
Me neither.
Besides Blake Monroe, because I see something about her every week. Um, I don't think whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Uh, Another quote
yeah,
from John Alba. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say AEW has done what they do, and it's led them to success, and that's
Mhm.
what all they have to keep doing, because they are now pissing off WWE, who has creatively fallen out. They have creatively lost it. They have mentally lost it. And they have lost it so much. They are now moving John Cena retirement matches to counter program.
They're bringing back Sex Pest to counter program.
Yeah,
They
that
are
is
they are
the
buying
rumor.
other promotions to counter program. They are
The
trying to get other promotions that that didn't even own TV deals to counter program.
the rumor of the first main roster pay-per-view versus All Out, obviously, is coming up, and that's where Cena versus Lesnar is going to happen.
Mhm.
I think the funnier one was trying to move Cena's retirement show to World's End, and then the report being like, well, NBC has football, so no.
Yeah, that was great.
Like, that was
Well, then just
awesome.
already have to battle NFL. Is that going to be bad
Right.
anyways?
Like, let's not do that. Actually,
Yeah.
let's just put it where we agreed and call it a day. Thank you.
You know what this reads to me? There's a little element of lack of confidence and desperation here. If WWE was truly confident in their product, why can't they beat AEW? Why are they going through all this extra effort and money to work with TNA and AAA?
Mhm.
Why are they trying to go through all of these different intermediaries to try to drown out the AEW competition? Vince was never, I mean, Vince like took over, but he was never like this desperate seeming, in my opinion. You know, obviously he
No,
worked for the promotions. Obviously he took over other territories, but like I feel like that was more aggressive. This doesn't. I mean, this is aggressive, but it's like there's no confidence in your own product. It feels like.
no, there's none. You're seeing the results of a product souring at the time another one is not.
Hmm.
For the past 2 years, they didn't care because AEW had their own problems and they were succeeding uh day after day, day after day, day after day. The public perception was WWE great, AEW bad, and so on and so forth. And now it's the opposite. So now they're freaking out.
Yeah, and they're freaking out to millions and millions of dollars. It feels like. The other quote here, just from John Alba. While it was not directly indicated that the destination would be the CW, it was expressed to the takedown on Sports Illustrated that the CW's interest in the promotion is legitimate and that some WWE stakeholders would like TNA to be part of the network. Obviously, nothing has been signed yet, so it's not clear how far the discussions have progressed, but there are seemingly discussions. So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for that. And obviously, we're already getting the people being like, if even Brian Alvarez being like, if TNA can get a new TV deal, they'll rival AEW and be a number 2 in the promotion in the country.
Have these people ever freaking watched TNA? It's not. Like, if 400,000 people watch TNA, they're not coming back because it's bad.
Yeah.
It's a bad product and it's not changing.
Yes. If you get $10 million a year, which is what they want, which is what TNA wants, maybe you can afford some people, but like, what contract? Are you just going to be stealing people? Are you going to be taking people from WWE, taking Killer Cross from WWE and giving him money? Is he going to be a draw? Are you going to take people from AEW that AEW doesn't want anymore? Is that going to hurt him? You going to steal people? What's the plan here?
If TNA gets one of these TV deals and can't sign people anymore, my God. Yeah, I think here's my final take. I don't want to talk about TNA anymore.
Well, Bound for Glory
is
in October.
Because TNA stinks. Yeah, I know, it's right down the street. I'm not going. Because I value my time. I value my time, I value my money, and I value the fact that I don't want to see it. And now they're selling tickets really well, which again I don't understand because no one talks about TNA. No one does.
Yeah.
Outside of are they getting sold, which has been the talk of TNA for the past decade. Anyways, I press the button and we move on.
Triple Mania.
Brother, this guy stinks.
Triple Mania, of course, took place on Saturday. You watched it globally on YouTube. Roughly 19,000 people in attendance. So, obviously well drawn, but it is Triple Mania. Commentary team, Corey Graves, JBL, and Conan. I had the thought of like, man, why do they add JBL here? And I thought like, oh, well, because they needed more of a heel commentator. Because I was like, because you and I complimented the Worlds Collide stuff a little bit. Where it was like, Corey Graves, pretty good. Conan, weird, but fine. And then it's like, okay, let's add JBL to the mix.
And they were like, how do we ruin that?
Let's go through the show here. Obviously, starting off with the Copa Bardal Cibernetico match. With Omos getting the win by defeating various other AAA wrestlers, WWE people like Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. We got the first acknowledgement of the Exoticos in WWE's AAA and Pimpinella. Otis was there. Also, they signed Microman to the company. So Microman versus Omos is the shot seen around the world, and a lot of other stuff in this Cibernetico match to open the show.
Yep.
What did you think of it?
It was a match that happened.
It did in fact happen.
Go ahead. Almost needs to go back to Noah, not AAA.
I agree. I do think him holding Microman in the air like that was very funny. I did like the shot of him and Microman, but it is what it is. Laredo Kid gets eliminated first, of course. The one thing WWE has decided to keep is Laredo Kid sucking in this promotion.
Laredo Kid stinking.
Yeah. It's just a fine. I think it was a good enough opener, if that makes sense. Good enough opener for what it was. And then we move on to the rest of the card. I guess overall show. You said earlier, Scotty, that you thought the show was not good.
Correct.
I guess we'll find
out. Triple A is bad, dude.
I thought it was like fine. I had some like 3s, 3 1/4s. In the main event, I went 3.5 on. So I like some stuff I like enjoyed, but it was largely like, whatever.
Yeah. I was just here for Dom, which by the sounds of it, the crowd was too.
Yeah. Next match to AAA Latin American title, El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. defeats El Macias. First title win for him in this company. That's nice and great and all. And yeah, Dr. Wagner Jr. is there. He got involved a little bit. That was fun.
That makes 2 matches in a row where I wish the person that won was still in Noah.
Yeah. That's a good call. That's a good call. Yeah, I thought this match again was fine.
Yeah, this is the one I only saw the end.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
I did pop at Dr. Wagner Jr. running in. I did pop for that. I was like, yeah, go get him.
Yeah, obviously part of this match was all fully built around the Dr. Wagner Jr. Almacius match from several years ago, and they just continue that, and then they pull that off. So it's like, okay, great. And then his son wins a title. Nice.
What was this?
This is the Latin American title. So good on them. Good on them.
I like El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. So good for him.
Yeah. Mixed 6-man tag team match here. The Judgment Day, Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Raquel Rodriguez defeat Lola Vice, Mr. Iguana, and Nino Hamburguesa. This is Nino Hamburguesa's first showing on a AAA WB show since signing with the company. Mr. Iguana, obviously the big pop-off at Worlds Collide, and apparently Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana have some sort of weird 3-way action with, I forget her other name. Not Lady Flamier. I forget the other person's name. It's whoever his tag partner is for the mixed tag title.
Oh, the person that attacked?
Yes. La Hiedra. That's who it was.
Yeah. All right. Here are my MVPs in the match. Lola Vice and Demonito.
Okay, yeah, we got to talk about Demonito. When Demonito came out, what was your reaction?
Kind of popped.
Look,
I saw him put the thing up, and I was like, "Oh fuck! What is this gonna be?" Part of me was like, I
saw a back-to-back picture of Finn Balor holding little Demonito, and then Harley Cameron holding the Mercedes Moné puppet. And I was like, "Oh, it's the same thing. It's just the same thing."
It is. It's the same exact thing. I will give WWE. I'll give WWE one credit. They instantly put it on sale. They did
$100.
Yeah, that's crazy. But shout out Demonito. It's kind of funny.
My favorite. Okay, here's my favorite thing about Demonito, and the idea of it. Mr. Iguana,
demon you're getting for the rest of time.
Mr. Iguana gets over super big. He has the stuffed iguana puppet, and everyone really likes it. I don't know if WWE started selling it or not.
No.
So the next match after Mr. Iguana gets over big is they kind of, in a weird way, give his gimmick for the match to Finn Balor so that they can have a puppet and sell it online for $100.
Dude, they're gonna have it on Raw. They're just gonna have it sitting in the background now. Oh, you know what they need? They do need to bring the demon back so he could just be like Demonito and Demon.
I think it was like Joe Gagney on Twitter or Blue Sky. I think it's Blue Sky that said something to the effect of like, I don't know if this is more or less embarrassing than when Finn Balor as a demon wrestled Roman Reigns, fell over on the top rope, and then started popping like a fish.
It is not more embarrassing than that. That is the worst. I that clip comes up once a year, and I have to watch it every time. So this is a tough look for someone else too.
Mm-hmm.
Callum Newman has decided to change his entire persona after the Prince Fergal Devitt. Tough look, I'm following Demonito and pals over here. That was the first thing I thought of. I was like, do you think he's gonna get the puppet too? Like, do you think he just wants to copy him completely? So now he's gonna have like Callum Nito. Thank you. I'm here forever.
More like Callum New Puppet. Callum New Puppet. Is it a man? He's a puppet. Callum New Puppet.
Not a man. It's a puppet. New puppet.
New puppet. Callum New Puppet.
We've been doing the show too long, and it's not even 2 hours yet. Holy shit, Callum New Puppet. He said.
I thought this match was fine. I'm
not moving on from Callum New Puppet.
I thought this match was fine. I went 2.5. There's a lot of bits.
I'm only calling him Callum New Puppet.
Callum New Puppet is a
Oh
great
God,
show.
it's Callum New Puppet.
First pitch, best pitch.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Sure. All right. Yeah. Fine match.
Fine match. A lot of bits.
Yeah. A lot of bits.
Mr. Iguana didn't pop off enough compared to Worlds Collide, but so shout out Lindsay Dorado from that first match. Oh, by the way, we should also address, this is a good point to address as we head into the street fight. The entire night's obviously the idea is that this is great Lucha Libre. You know, this is the tradition of Lucha Libre. This
It really
is how great it is. Triple H, they released a video online of Triple H talking up the roster in the back, saying that, you know, basically do a good job. Thank you everybody for doing such a good job to get to this point. I would argue if you did a better job, they wouldn't have to sell the company. But alas, but then basically said, like, you know, we are not here to change anything. We are only here to enhance and grow this brand. The problem is that WWE, the only way WWE knows how to grow things is by making it their brand and making them do their stuff. And that was sort of the theme of this show, is this idea of like, this show overall, Scotty, was extremely WWE coded for me. Now, granted, there was some AAA stuff in here, but you got the square ring, you got the weapons. We go to a street fight and I don't see a single cookie sheet. What the heck are we doing? That's an easy purchase.
That's true.
You know, we got the tables and all these other bits and stuff, and it's like the tables that break and they work, not boards. You know, it's all these sort of things. It's all very much WWE coded, and the wrestling style and everything. And then for them to be like, this is what AAA has always been about. This is Lucha Libre at its finest. And it's like, it's already been changed. And then say, this is what it's always been. And this is what's great, is frustrating to see. And people are obviously going to eat it up and buy it and chew it up and say, yes, this is great. This is what Lucha Libre is. And I would say this is kind of the Lucha Libre WWE has been doing on their promotions for years now. You know, it's not Lucha Libre, but it's not even AAA. It doesn't even feel like AAA. And that brings us, of course, to the street fight. The World Tag Team titles, Pagano and Psycho Clown win those titles from Los Garza in a street fight that did, in fact, have some barbed wire on it, to be clear. But a lot of basic wrestling. I think the only blood I saw was the blood on Psycho Clown's face after he ripped it off. Scotty, what do you think of the street fight?
WWE plunder match.
Yep. A little bit more violent in AAA because it's a barbed wire, but ultimately, yeah. I think they've also already brought back barbed wire, if I'm not mistaken, with WWE.
Maybe.
I feel like I recall that they have. I don't remember what match it was.
I think AAA is bad, and now it's giving WWE stink.
Yes.
So that just makes it. There's not even like the fun aspect of watching it be bad anymore.
It's
now
not a car wreck anymore.
Yeah. It's you know, in the past, last year when people would tune into Triple Mania, it's like, oh, I can't wait to see this clip of the worst thing you've ever seen in wrestling. Now it's like, there's no clips. It's just WWE.
It's just things that happen.
Yeah, you don't have the worst camera shots of all time anymore.
That's a classic, like almost like philosophical discussion of which is better, something that is bad or something that is boring.
Something that is bad because at least I didn't watch it. I have decided to watch something that is boring instead.
Or something that is bad can be so bad it wraps around to be at least good or enjoyable in some capacity. You know?
Yeah.
Boring. This is just like, it's polished. And AAA, for whatever I've seen, it has never been this polished. It's annoying.
Yeah, AAA used to have a proper stink to it.
Yeah.
Now
like
it's just
it used to be a stinky poo-poo promotion, Scotty, and now the poo-poo smells like car freshener. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Callum New Puppet.
Callum
Anyways, the next bit was Conan going into the Hall of Fame. Obviously, he spoke in Spanish. The two key bits I saw coming out of here is the crowd chanting Alberto to Rey Mysterio and him promising that he's going to bring Alberto Del Rio back into the promotion, or I guess Al
Did you
Patron.
see? So did you see like someone? So someone who speaks Spanish and like understood like the way he said it.
Mhm.
Said like he just said that to shut them up.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree. That was part of it.
Not rather like, oh, we're gonna bring him back.
Mhm.
But still, the fact that they're chanting for Alberto is painful in itself.
To the person who spoke Spanish and gave a proper translation, did they give a better
He
explanation?
still said that. I mean, he said, yeah. Where can he? Yeah, he'll be here.
Did he give a proper explanation to why Conan, halfway during his speech, told some person in
No.
the crowd to go fuck his mom? Did they do that? Did the guy on Twitter explain that better?
I don't think so.
On a live microphone in front of a
Shit.
crowd when a WWE produced a show?
That's insane.
Conan is so fucking funny, dude. He's so fucking funny. This guy sold out, went into a dumb Hall of Fame, and then told someone in the crowd to go fuck his mom.
Oh God.
This guy used to run this promotion.
He still acts like he does.
He
Which is
was
crazy.
he was the creative head of this promotion.
Really bad creative.
Oh yeah. God. Anyways, the AAA Reina de Reinas title triple threat match. Flamer retains her title against Fabi Apache and Natalia. This was not Natalia from WWE, but this is the sort of indie thing that she's been doing. The Natty Neidhart. This is actually, I think, the first time I've actually seen Natty Neidhart, and I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, Natty Neidhart's
really
good.
fun.
Natty Neidhart's good, and
Yeah.
it's very insane that she's a different person in WWE, but it's fitting. I'd like to see her like do things elsewhere continuously because I think it's like the best work she's done.
Agreed. I definitely very much agree. This was also the first match in this WWE partnership that had I always forget his name, the heel AAA referee.
Yeah.
I always forget his name. But this is the first match where he was involved in, and obviously he was a big part of it, doing the fast counts and the slow counts and all that stuff. I am terrified of Triple H seeing a heel referee.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I am terrified of what this guy, because this guy does not have a lot of ideas. He just kind of takes ideas and then runs with them and buries them in the ground, like the shoot kayfabe non-shoot work stuff he's currently doing. I fear that his next ideas are heel referee.
So the idea where the boys are fooled if Karrion Kross is actually still part of the company.
People talked about like the whole like the R-Truth stuff and being like, this could be bad because if you do too much of this work shoot stuff, no one knows what is true or not. And it worked itself into Karrion Kross getting fired and no one knowing if it's real or not. And Karrion Kross is now fucked because he's like, I can't. No one wants to book me.
Yeah, I don't know what people want to do. Yeah. Triple H bad.
Yeah. This match was also.
I saw his stomach way too much this weekend.
Excuse me?
People, did you see that photo? Like people posted a photo of like him and Stephanie like vacationing or something, and I was like, why do I care? And it's just like people continuously tweet on it, so it continuously pops up. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm on Blue Sky. I don't think I saw that once.
Well, guess I know what I'm gonna bring content wise moving forward.
Oh, man. And then finally in the main event, the AAA Mega title 4-way match. El Hijo del Vikingo successfully retains the title versus Dominic Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and El Grande Americano. What do you think of the match?
It was good. Best match on the show.
Yep. Yeah.
Easily.
Do you think an 8.56 on Cage Match is representative?
Absolutely not.
I think I went 3.5 on this match.
I think Dominic should have won.
Yeah. What do you think about AJ Styles coming out of nowhere and beating up Dominic?
I mean, pretty cool pop for the people there, right? Like you get to
Mhm.
see AJ. That's cool.
He's got the Natty Neidhart contract where he doesn't work WWE that much anymore, and then works everywhere
Yeah,
else.
yeah, damn right. I think for him being Dominic, this is kind of just like the slow build to it instead now. You know, they
Yep.
kind of did a little showdown between him and Vikingo. Vikingo's kind of a nerd, huh? No one likes him.
No,
He
him.
reminds me of Shota Umino.
Yeah. Oh, the great call. Obviously, I think Vikingo's a way better worker.
Yeah.
But
But he does feel like Shota Umino.
him walking in the back, obviously, like WWE was apparently not aware of all the booing that Vikingo's getting because they're
Yeah.
still presenting him as a big, babyface deal. They're trying to have Rey Mysterio put him over in the back as he makes his entrances, and then his dad, obviously, to get some nostalgia and emotion in there. And then he walks through the back, and then he just walks up and stands there as the crowd's booing him. And a full second goes by until the music starts playing, but just for that full second, it's just a guy standing there as 19,000 people boo the shit out of him. I was like, God, what a fucking dork loser. This sucks for Vikingo so much. This guy last year, 2 years ago, was having great matches with Kenny Omega, was on a bunch of Ring of Honor shows, and now he's getting booed to shit by all
So
his,
they were
his
booing
own
him
people.
before WWE bought it. I read
What's that?
because
Sorry.
I think he was being booed before WWE bought it.
Yes. Well,
They
technically,
preferred
they just bought it.
Alberto.
But yes, the booing was starting, but since the Berto
It
Patron stuff
just
and the
kicked
title
fully
switch,
in.
it kind of kicked off even harder.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So what WWE wants Vikingo to be presented as, effectively based on the entrance, is like Rey Mysterio's heir apparent. Little do they know that these crowds just happen to actually like the Rey Mysterio heir apparent, aka his son.
Yes.
You would have thought Dominic Mysterio was the biggest star in wrestling, the way these people treated him.
Mhm.
Like, I had a lot of the show like down on volume because I didn't want to listen to JBL. Among
Why didn't
other
you
reasons.
could have just watched the Mexican, the Spanish broadcast.
Oh, I should have done that. Oh well. Next time, when worlds collide, again in Vegas or something.
Yep.
But watching Dominic and like the reaction he got, and like he just cheats the whole time. It's like I'm so confused.
Mhm.
Like what? Like
It's like I'm watching an evil match.
yeah, which is probably why I like Dominic.
It is why you like Dominic.
Absolutely.
I can confirm that.
I like, I don't know. There's something about Dominic that's just very entertaining to me. He's
Mhm.
just like, he feels like a very pure guy who just happens to kind of be a little snob that he wants to get beat up. But in AAA, he is the guy they want to see win. So
Yep.
when he got pinned by Vikingo, I said that is not going to help Vikingo in any way, shape, or form. And they're gonna have a rematch. I think that's pretty clear. You know, they did a little face off at the end.
Yep.
Vikingo looked like a geek, like you said. No one likes him. The way the show was ending, I thought they were bringing out Alberto.
Me too.
I did.
Vikingo standing in the ring, holding up his title for way too long, and I was like,
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, they're gonna bring it Alberto.
he looked like Vikingo looked like such a nerd. By the way,
I feel so bad.
I have here's the picture I have. I do feel bad because like he didn't do anything wrong.
No.
Look at him.
And just everyone, there's like literally someone that's like highlighted right under the green rope, 2 thumbs down.
I don't know what he did to deserve
He
it.
just won a title because
Yeah.
WWE told him to win a title.
Which was the right choice, by the way.
Which is by the way also funny. WWE wanting to push Vikingo as like the next big like face of Lucha Libre or whatever. by doing so, it has caused the crowd to fully reject him. The more WWE pushes
Yeah.
Vikingo, the more AAA rejects it.
Yeah.
Which if that is not emblematic of part of what's happening, if Lucha Libre and Mexico and WWE, I don't know what else is.
Which is really funny because Dominic's new nickname is like the King of Lucha Libre or something. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
But it's like the Master or the Future or whatever it is. It's really funny because like that is the nickname they've presented him with in WWE, and that is the one that AAA agrees with.
Yeah.
While they hate the fact that they're pushing Vikingo. It's a fascinating dynamic that makes zero sense to me, and I don't think it's ever going to. But yeah, that's Triple Mania 2025. We're done with them. We only had to have one this year, right?
Yeah, only one Triple Mania. They did announce that they're doing another Worlds Collide in September. I want to say the 19th.
That you know why they're doing that? That's Anniversario.
Oh no, sorry. It's gonna be the 12th is what it's gonna be on. The 19th is the Anniversario.
Ooh. Why are we doing another Worlds Collide?
Because there's gonna be a boxing or UFC fight or something in Las Vegas that weekend. So they want to do another one.
Oh, that's the Canelo one.
Yeah.
That's
So they want to do
big,
that. Plus, it's a week away from Anniversario. It's actually in between Death Before Dishonor and the Anniversario show, so it kind of works.
Nice.
So
That Ring of Honor show is fascinating. Not that we're talking about that right now, but it's fascinating so far.
yeah, I mean, overall, this show, Triple Mania, which by the way, Rey Mysterio said, and I said yes, redemption. This Triple Mania show was the first show of the WWE version of Lucha Libre and AAA and all these sort of things. And what I saw, Scotty, was the WWE version of Lucha Libre, exactly how I thought it was going to look. Does it give me hope for the future? No, not at all.
That was pretty smelly.
This show had to be filled with a lot of WWE talent because they don't have the roster to support it yet. Right? They don't have the AAA roster. There's a lot of storylines going into it that just get dropped because of all these sort of things. They're changing stuff immediately. They came into Mexico City and changed AAA to what their version of it, of working and expanding and growing is. And will it work? Will it maintain? I don't know. I also, by the way, I truly am kind of shocked, especially like in the Copa, that we didn't get one CMLL jump. You know what I mean?
I just don't think anyone wants to jump.
I think that's the case. You have to imagine
Which is great.
But you have to imagine that like WWE made some calls and try to get some CMLL people to jump. But the fact that no one did is like, okay, there we go, baby. That's what I like to see. Because this is obviously they want to make this is a statement piece, right? For WWE. It has to go well. And they didn't get any jumps from anybody. They did fill it up with their own roster significantly. The only new person they signed is Microban from MLW. So take that. You can have Killer Cross. And I guess Fabi Apache.
They just brought it back. Well, I mean, technically they brought both back.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just was this statement strong enough? I don't think so. I think it just presented their version of it, and it was polished to the degree that it was, and it's just like,
yeah,
all right, there's another show that's WWE produced.
Maybe here's my best thing. What was the statement supposed to be? Because when the show is over, I could not figure it out.
I don't know. Maybe a statement was supposed to be that this is better than CMLL.
It's
maybe.
Not.
It was.
And everyone knew that.
Everyone knew that going in.
Come close. Like I said, CML had a bigger and more exciting show down this. I don't know if it's down the street, but in Arena Coliseo. I don't know how close they are. Yeah. Sold out, by the way, back-to-back nights. Mm-hmm. And CML right now is in the conversation of could they sell as many tickets or more tickets as WWE this year. That's the business they're doing. That is the business that CMLL is doing. They deserve all the praise. No matter what WWE thinks they're doing with AAA, no matter what Konam wants them to do with AAA,
Fuck
it's
them
not
off.
going to change anything.
Go ahead. Sorry.
uh
It's not going to change anything.
Cal new puppet. It's not going to change anything. CMLL, I think, deserves all the praise that they've gotten all year, gone for a number of years, and they're just getting better and stronger and moving forward. I think there's something to be said about you know, Tony and CML and is Salvador? Is that
Yeah.
they have really started to make this a continuous back and forth now between the two, where holograms on both shows, the Beast Mortos is on both shows. That's what I was hoping for, right? When we talked about the dual contract ideas, like, let's do that, like, get these guys on these shows consistently, because it just is going to allow them to feel like part of that roster, and it's working. That's what they're doing, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And now you look at the Ring of Honor show. Fucking Bandito versus Hechicero is your main event. Hell freaking yeah. We talked about it for the longest time when Tony bought Ring of Honor. Just go back to Lucha Libre, right? Because when we sang the praises of Sinclair Ring of Honor and the pandemic, it was Lucha Libre that was really crushing it. And they're bringing up the big prospect guy that everyone loves in the Pure match that I can't think of the name of.
Shewa.
Yeah, he's going to be in that match. Like, they're putting him on a big scope as well. So I had no idea that's how you said his name.
Yeah, that's fair. It starts with it's Xelhua.
Yeah, I think I've said that on the show before, but now that you said it again, I'm like, no, not what I would have called him. But that's good to know. But like, that's exciting. CMLL is doing everything right, and they've been doing everything right in Lucha Libre for the past multiple years, and that is where real Lucha Libre lives. If you want to watch real Lucha, that's where you go, and it's been that way pre-WWE being involved and now post.
If I had to think of any other statement piece that WWE is trying to make, it would be that this is what the show was. We got 19,000 in attendance. It was a success by WWE standards in terms of quality. If you are another promotion that is maybe very much struggling, like TNA or AAA, you should work with us, because this is what we can get for you. We can get for you Slammiversary, setting a North American attendance record for TNA. We can get for you AAA, Triple Mania, 19,000 in CDMX. Noah, if you want more money, it's really Noah's not the one that needs the issue. All Japan, if you want more money,
I say
come
Noah's
calling,
on fire right
because
now.
this is what we can get you. That's the calling card. That's the promise I think that they would also want to have, is this is what it looks like when you work with us.
They seem to have fully retransitioned back to North America, which they should. That's there's no reason to do elsewhere for them, and for what they're going for. There was a report recently that NXT Europe's dead.
I didn't hear that. I just, is that true? Because I literally just saw Angel Blanc and Mike DeVecchio have a goodbye celebration at WXW.
Oh, I thought.
But also Jack Morris is backing out Noah, so I don't know anything, Scotty.
So 2 months ago, it was said they're gonna fire it back up. I swear I thought I saw one recently though. Let me see. Dave had said the project completely stopped a week
really?
ago.
When did he say this?
A week ago in the Observer. He said it might be quietly shelved.
All right.
That's what I thought I saw. So I think they're just going full North America, right? They're going, Mexico. They might buy TNA.
They're slowing down their focus.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters to them. Because I think they've learned, if they just send WWE show to this part of the world, we're going to sell out. We're going to do big business. We don't need an extended part there to be, what's that stupid fucking term they did, the globalization thing, like that. And I think that's kind of what they're doing. So
yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I mean, obviously, eventually they can go back to that, and they might certainly. But I think for right now, I think you're right.
Yeah, because right now they want to kill AEW, so they're focused.
You have
on
to
that.
focus on North America to do that. Why focus on Japan if you're trying to kill AEW?
Right. Why focus on Europe if you're trying to, right? Like you have a grasp of Europe anyways. Like European fans love you.
Europe is also, you could show up at any point and destroy the scene again. So who gives a shit?
Well, I would argue the scene's still,
struggling very much, but
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. And listen, the scene didn't help itself either.
Mhm.
I think that's always a forgotten conversation as well,
Mhm.
along the way. But yeah, that's it. WWE AAA is what it is, and I'm not looking forward to the next show. Worlds Collide will be better than Triple Mania because that is a show that is WWE, right? Like that is the WWE
Presumably,
versus
yeah.
AAA show again, which
mean,
I
this was
guess a
very
lot of this
WWE
show
as well.
was, but I don't know. The Worlds Collide show they did earlier this year was way better than this one, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Scotty, let's close up our doors. Ring Post Radio, another one in the books. Scotty, give us some plugs. Give us your match of the week.
Okay. Match of the week. Watched a lot this week. Sadly. Too much. What do I want to do for match of the week this week?
I don't know.
Let's go with that's from last week. I will pick. Let's do Starlight Kid versus Rena from the Yokohama Budokan show on Saturday.
Mhm.
It was a really good match. Rena has had a great tournament. Starlight Kid's had a great tournament. Quite enjoyed that one and the drama that came with that. Their championship match earlier this year is one of my favorites of the year, so it was nice to see them get back in the ring and face off. So that's my match of the week. In terms of plugs, youtube.com/@ScottyWrestling. This morning I dropped the Dream Star Grand Prix Day 5 and Day 6 review because there's 2 matches on each, so I combine them for the weekend. Probably in the next 15 minutes I'll be releasing the 5-star Grand Prix review, which is a big meaty one to get you into the upcoming Cork and everything like that, plus reviewing today's final matches and so on and so forth. So if you're interested in all that, check that out. I'll be doing recording on Wednesday as well, and then of course the final is upcoming on Saturday. So if you're into that, check that out on the YouTube channel. I think that's all I got for now. So I send it over to you, Ryan.
My match of the week, I'm just going to pull from the playoff match between Takeshita and David Finlay. Great match. Obviously, Takeshita's a great wrestler. David Finlay's a great wrestler. You don't have to, take a big swig of a guess to know that match was great. So go check that one out. My plugs are going to be, I released the newest episode of The Ballot, talking FTR with Fred Moreland from the Good, the Bad, the Hungry podcast. It's an AEW podcast, of course. We talked all about FTR and their shot at being in the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame, but we talked about way more than that too. I think it's like a 2-hour plus show or something like that. We talked way more about that. We talked all about the modern US and Canada ballot. So if you want more discussion about that ballot in general, I think it was a really, really, really solid conversation, especially regarding some of the women's wrestling issue, I guess. Go check that out. The Ballot about FTR. I'm already working on next month's, and I have that scheduled. We just have to record it, and that should be a fun one. And then we have one more left, and then the Observer Hall of Fame is probably out. So only 2 more episodes of the Ballot left this season, Scotty, and then the Observer Hall of Fame ballot's going to be out, and then we go from there. So, and that's all new season with all new people, and then I have to do a bunch of more research and all that jazz. But until then, Scotty, we'll have more Ring Post Radio for you. Follow, subscribe to the podcast wherever you get those podcasts. Follow us on social media. And yeah, support the show in any way you can. We very much appreciate it. Go tell a friend about it in person. Other wrestling friends that we all definitely have. Go tell them about the show and go have them check it out. Really solid show, Ring Post Radio. Listen to all the other shows like The Ballot, like Jumping Knee Pod, like Faces and Feels. Go check out all the shows on the Countout Network as well. All right, next week we'll be back on presumably Monday night, Ring Post Radio nights, talking about Forbidden Door, talking about other stuff. I don't know, probably not Clash in Paris, but that's the only other thing I currently have on my deck here, on my calendar here, of other things that are happening. I'm sure there are. I'll spend the week
next week.
Yeah, I only have Forbidden Door for us to review, and then
Forbidden Door, and then previews for Ring of Honor.
No, we got another week for that.
Yeah, it's on the Friday.
It's on the 5th.
What?
It's on the 5th, right? I'll look that up. I'll confirm that.
I don't think so. I just looked at it.
2025 is going to be on. Oh, no, it's on the 29th. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, you're right. I have it on the 5th for whatever reason.
We're not previewing Clash in Paris. So.
Yes, we're going to review Forbidden Door and preview Death Before Dishonor. And I guess at that point as well, we'll probably review the Stardom 5-star Grand Prix finals on Ring Post Radio.
Yes.
And maybe there will be other things to discuss as well.
So I'm sure there will be by then.
Yeah. So until next week, we thank you everybody for listening to this week's episode of Ring Post Radio. Until then, everybody enjoy your Taco Bell.